Wait, take two? No, no, Andrew, I refuse.
It's too late.
will not-
Your audio's going. What was that you just said, Josh? So that
Oh, I was
everybody
just
can
saying, holy cow, did this past week just blaze by. A lot more energy that time, too.
Seriously, could you imagine if the zombies had burst out of the ground like that? Like, that would have been way more convenient, you know? Just, like, put me up there in the middle, and that would have been super convenient.
Oh, the little design that Jason
Yeah.
put on. Oh, man. I am so excited for today's session, though. I can't even barely contain it. I'm hyped. I'm nervous. I hate myself and Aiden, and it's gonna be good.
That's why it's okay. You guys don't have to do anything. It's just Nyari and Theros for about 2 hours.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to take a nap. Like,
No, actually, I could never pull that off.
That's
No
funny.
offense to you, Andrew. I just can't. I can't talk one-on-one
no
for that
offense
long.
to you, but I
It's
could not have
exhausting.
2-hour conversation
I'm not.
with
I'm
you.
not gonna
Okay?
lie. I'm not gonna lie. That does not sound like a good late night show. And now, come on down for the Nyari and Theros 12 o'clock hour.
I'm not gonna lie. I get anxious one-on-one with people in the car, so I would not be able to straight on have a full 2-hour conversation.
Are you a
one-on-one
ner-
with somebody?
And we
Are
got
you a
Justin
nervous
on
talker?
the
Oh my gosh, I'm a nervous talker. I'll tell you everything about me, and then I'll regret it later. I'll be like, I'm so stupid. Why did I
I've told him
tell
about
them
my
that? They
fingerless
need to know
gloves.
that.
Dang it.
I too have a tendency to overshare, but that's just I do that anyway. So.
Oh,
Would you
point of
believe me if I said I do too?
No.
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 I think you're a don't talk to them unless spoken to kind of
Yeah, I feel like on a one-on-one conversation, like in a car, I'd be like, so anyway, what about? And you'd be like, let me stop you there.
guy. I do.
And that would be it.
Hi,
That would be
Sammy.
it.
How you doing, Sammy?
Welcome, Sammy. Thank you for joining.
Oh yeah, I'll pull up the
What
faces
up?
for the recap. By the way,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I
Go
just
ahead.
to say, everybody, we have a mildly heroic Twitch channel now.
Oh, hooray!
Fancy.
So right now, I'm streaming it straight to the Soggy Dog channel, but I have this channel set to be auto-hosted on Mildly Heroic this week. So maybe next week we'll stream straight from Mildly Heroic after we pull some traffic.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
So you guys can check us out there at twitch.tv/mildly heroic. Oh, man.
Good thing I got that URL though, or that would have been inappropriate. Mildly was actually taken, so we had to change it to kinda heroic.
Sort of heroic.
Sort of heroic.
That
Not
sounds
really
really-
heroic.
That sounds super budget, doesn't it? It changes it to witty and funny to like low budget, which is
I like
true.
that though. I like that. That we're budget heroes. Okay, we'll get your job done on a budget.
So I have a question.
fair.
You guys that know Twitter, can I change my @name?
Yes, you
Hmm.
can.
Oh, I found it. Username. Wow, I had to go super far into the nether to get to that.
Sammy wants a link. Drop him the link. Unless he could just hear me have said it. There it is.
I like faintly heroic. That would
Faintly heroic?
faintly
That can
heroic.
be our
'Cause it kind
after
of-
hours chat.
Our recap after the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be part of that if we keep going till like midnight. Sorry guys, I gotta drop out. It's my bedtime.
Sarah does have a bedtime. That's true.
Yeah, in case you've noticed, like, I don't do this intentionally, but during sessions, once we get to be like 10 o'clock or later, I think my mood starts to turn very grumpy. Maybe even a little bit before that. I don't mean to do it, but it's like, I gotta get through the grumpy phase before I get back into like the fun phase. I usually don't go for long enough to get to the fun phase.
You know I love you, but it is so funny to me because I can see it wash over your face. It is like 1 minute to the next. I go like, oh, all right, time to be very kind.
I try. I drink the coffee. I drink like sugar. I do what I can to stay awake, but you just hit that point and
I know what it's like. The worst too is like when you're not doing well in the game, and you had a day of it last week. I swear, you did not roll.
Oh, it's not over yet.
Oh,
We shouldn't
and-
say anything right now.
Oh,
nope. Oh yeah, Justin, I've got my blanket too. My
Oh.
blanket and my fingerless gloves. ready to go.
Are you
I
nice and
honestly need
cozy?
some of those because
They're amazing. Well, my fingers when I'm working get so cold. So I told my mom, she was big into crocheting. This was back when COVID first hit and she was crocheting everything. I was like, hey mom, do you think you can crochet me fingerless gloves? She's like, I'm sure I could find a pattern somewhere. And so she actually made me 2 pairs. The other ones are huge though, so I wear these ones.
Thanks for the follow on the main channel, Sammy. Low key, Sammy is actually an expert crocheter. Actually, I have
For
no
real?
idea. I have no idea.
You had me going. I was like, that's really impressive.
Yeah, I was about to be like, what do you crochet, my friend? But I guess it was lies. Oh, man.
Cool. So, is everybody ready for the recap so we can get started on some shenanigans?
Yeah, let's kick this pig.
Absolutely.
Let's
All right,
get this going.
switching over
Don't
to
be
the face
offended.
cam so
With my
that
face.
people
Keep
can
going,
see
Cole.
reactions and stuff. And because Sammy likes to see our beautiful faces.
Aw, thank you.
The
And
old rhythm turned up.
everybody got their audio turned up. We will be starting the recap.
Oh, yeah, audio.
Here we go. 3, 2. Don't worry, we won't be in here long. I just need to pick up some items.
Ooh, I do like shopping. Oh, don't mind if I do.
Good morning, gentlemen. Is there anything I can help you with?
Ah, potion seller. My cousin and I here are adventurers, and we require your strongest potions.
Well, I'm sorry, but my potions may be too strong for you, sir.
Too strong. What's it going to do? Turn me into a loot? I'd pay to see Ulrit like that.
Ulrit? The Ulrit?
That's me, the greatest bard in Nirmathos, at your service.
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but there's some folks looking for you.
I have that problem a lot. People travel from every corner of the country to hear my stories and songs.
I don't think these men were interested in stories.
What do you mean?
Well,
Not interested in my stories? Oh, now you've done it, sir.
Oh boy, you're going to want to sit down, sir.
sit down.
It's story time! The heroes of Phaendar, Aiden, Nyari, Theros, and Oren clashed with a troop of hobgoblins and goblins who were setting the Fangwood ablaze. They quickly dispatched the fiends without too much trouble, and Theros and Oren dispelled the flames with their spells. Next, the party continued exploring, and to their surprise, discovered a group of survivors, including a certain someone.
As you guys walk into this camp, you see a number of people here. And a couple things. Right off the bat, you see that all of the people here look very malnourished, very sickly. They're all very weak. And you see that a number of them have actually been pretty severely wounded. He can tell that these people have been suffering from some level of disease. It looks like some of their wounds might be infected at this point, and there's some telltale signs of the same disease that you guys encountered, filth fever, that's been going across this camp, but they've not been quite as fortunate as you guys have been.
We're a group of survivors from Phaendar. And you?
What a coincidence! We are too! Boy, you got any supplies?
Yes, we do have supplies. What is it that you need? We did bring some food with us, but we don't have quite enough to feed everyone, I'm afraid, because we're also pretty far away from where we're staying. So we want to make sure that we have enough to get back.
But we hardly need food, love. We need medicine and healing.
I have 1 vial of anti-plague. How long have you guys been out here?
We've been out here for, it's probably been close to a week. It's hard to keep track of the days anymore, but it's probably been about a week, maybe a bit more.
We were told that you might be here. We actually came looking for you. We have a group of survivors who are living in some caves that are well fortified. We would love to take you there.
So you mean to tell us you haven't fought off all the hobgoblins back in Phaendar yet, have you?
No.
Oh, good. I was worried I wouldn't have had a part in it. And Ulrich's looking a little weak, so he just kind of plops down next to the tent.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let us introduce ourselves. My name's Nyari. We have companions Orin and Theros as well. Orin and Theros, would you like to join the conversation?
Ulrich hobbles over to Nyari and gets down on one knee. He's like, "Oh, I've only heard tales of how beautiful the Kellids are. Might I say you are the fairest I've witnessed so far in my travels."
Hey, calm down, Tiny Toes. We just met him.
Oh, you're just jealous I'm not flirting with you for once there, Frampton.
Oh, it's a relief.
And you, who might you be, strong lad? As he looks at Aiden.
My name is Aiden. Who are you again? I did not catch your name.
Oh, isn't it obvious? You had to have heard of me. Well, I'm Ulrich, the bard.
Ah, I've heard of your tales. They say you're a great storyteller. As Nyari was saying, these are the rest of our companions, Theros and Orin, and we have 2 others with us as well.
You know what? I think I recognize you. Did you last year at the market festival? I feel like you tried Kining's game that she had set up, but you'd only made the bell go up 2 inches, if I recall. I think it was a record low for the game. That was you, wasn't it? It was a halfling of sorts, and your voice is very familiar.
Oh, you must be misunderstanding. That was probably my cousin Joseph. He often likes to travel with me. Oftentimes my heroics and stunning good looks, if I might add, often get me confused with him, but he's a bit of an imbecile, if I might say so myself.
Let's run in the family.
It is not safe here in the southern Fanewood. It is way too close to Phaendar. But I promise, we have a place for you, if you would come with us.
Oh, I would very much like to see this. Please lead the way.
We actually have something that we have to do as well, though.
Did you misunderstand our situation? We are not mere survivors. We are heroes just as you are. We can wait another day. You go do what you need to do and bring back stories of your adventures. On one condition. When I am fully back to myself, you allow me to join you on your adventures, eh? After discussing their plans with the other survivors, our heroes journeyed onward toward the Kellid Shrine in hopes of restoring Nyari's dear friend Ilika. But the shrine was already occupied. Atop the giant burial mound stood a hobgoblin war priest surrounded by his underlings. The heroes fought viciously and bravely, filled with fury at the desecration taking place. Aiden loosed his arrows. Theros summoned a troop of animal companions. Oren channeled Torag's holy wrath, and Nyari brought down her destined strike on the evil creatures. Just as they defeated the war priest's underlings, a battalion of undead rose from the mound and attacked. The hobgoblin let loose a menacing laugh as he struck at the heroes himself. Oren stood stalwart, and he burned away the zombies and skeletons with Torag's mighty power. Yet, one by one, the war priest cut down the party. First Aiden, then Volus, then Orin. Theros once again was overcome with anger at the sight of his friends in danger, and he transformed into a wild boar. Nyari too was filled with determination, vengeance, and pure rage. The two assaulted the war priest, a barrage of tusk and axe. Finally, all 3 of them on death's door, the Blood Rager swung with all her might, every ounce of her strength and hatred fueling her attack. Her blade cut through the wicked creature, and he crumbled to the ground, defeated. That's where we last saw our heroes, atop the mound of bodies, refusing death's call, beckoning them to the afterlife once more. Yet who knows what dangers or adventure awaits them next.
Amazing.
Thank you, Sammy, again for lending your voice talents as always to the recap, and a special thanks to Josh's boss, Julian,
Yeah.
for
That's
being the
awesome.
potion seller, offering his
So cool.
strongest potions.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I didn't recognize the voice.
It's going to be a very funny day at work tomorrow. He and I are actually working alone, so
Oh,
I'll be able to bring it
perfect.
up.
I told him I would send a little video clip of your reaction, so I'm gonna clip that out at some point and email it to him.
Awesome.
Although I will say I'm a bit spent on my ideas for the recaps now, so I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board this week on.
Yeah, if you're pulling out potion seller, good lord, you were scraping the barrel.
No, that was intentional. I'd actually had this one planned out weeks ahead of time.
You've just been waiting for the opportunity.
Well, I couldn't get to Julian. I had to have him as the potion seller.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll actually work together this week instead of just making you do everything.
It's all good.
No.
It's
More
I
fun
like
to see what he comes up with.
I like
Yeah.
I like to have you guys be surprised by it, and I know Sammy enjoys that as well.
Thank you again, Sammy. Well, I would start role-playing, but I am unconscious.
I am also unconscious. So, Nyari, Theros?
Yes.
The,
The two talkers of the party.
Yes, the most sociable members of the party.
Yeah.
Yes, as Nyari finishes her attack and puts an end to this evil hobgoblin war priest, you look around and you see a boar and a bunch of unconscious allies, as well as like 16 corpses on this mound. What
Did you
what
say
are
a
you?
boar?
Yeah, did you say boar? Did I hear you right?
Did you say a
Yeah,
boar?
Theros is
Yeah,
a boar.
I'm a boar.
Yeah,
Oh,
Theros
that's
is
right.
currently a boar.
Yep, that checks out.
Boros.
So
I knew that. Yeah.
Boros.
Boros.
Don't cry for the boar, man. Okay.
We have Boros and Bad Ghosts. Badger Theros.
Barrows?
Badge
No, that'll be when
ghost?
he's a bear.
Badgeros.
Badgeros. That's probably better.
Badgeros. I like
Wow,
that.
that was more complicated than it needed to be.
Sarah, you were tripping over that line.
So Nyari first thing, once that guy falls, is he gone? His body's gone.
I just moved everybody to be in one area so I could see how many
Oh.
of corpses were on there.
Oh,
That's a
so
lot
this
of
was the
bodies.
guy.
He was tallying the carnage.
Okay. So first thing she's gonna do, because she doesn't know that the rest of the party isn't dead, so she will run over and just make sure, see if everyone's breathing, which I believe everybody was stabilized. She didn't know that. So nobody appears to be actively dying, correct? Or do I need to roll heal?
No, I mean, you could just take 10 and look them over, and you
Oh.
can tell that they are stable. None of them appear to be actively dying, but they are all very unconscious, very wounded by taking the absolute beating from that guy's flail.
Sheesh.
I wouldn't describe it that way. We held our own almost.
Is that flail still there?
I would think so.
We'll deal with that later.
She'll kind of relax slightly, and then immediately she's going to look for Illica and Rena, wherever they are.
Yeah, you can call out to them. At this point, it's basically night, and so you can't see very well. But if you were to pull out a torch or just call out to them, or whichever you do,
We do
They-
have our Ioun torches. So I don't know how those work functionally,
Yeah.
but
yeah, but they would be outside of that range.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
So yeah, you can call out, and Rena will eventually bring Ilika with her over to the mound. I can
Okay.
try to find their tokens and put them on the map here.
Theros, what do we do? You can't stay as a board. You have to help. I cannot help them. Rena, can you help them? Is there anything that you can do?
I can maybe cast a few spells, but I only have so many. I can't get all 3 of them up myself.
I have a potion. I will give Orin my cure mod. I was hoarding.
You are a peach.
That is nice.
So you get 10 HP. Hopefully that's enough.
As
And
I wake up.
I was just gonna say, I believe that Rena, as an adept, can cast a first level spell twice per day.
Sounds about right.
Oh, interesting.
So she would have prepared 1 Cure Light Wounds and then 1 other spell that isn't going to be terribly useful here, but I'll roll a d8 plus 2, and this would probably be on Aiden.
Still unconscious.
Yikes. How far down were you?
-6, so that almost brings me up, but not quite.
And then Rena kind of looks at you and she says, I'm sorry, that's about all that I can do. I mean, I can treat their wounds, but I don't think I can do much more than this.
No, I appreciate it. It's more than I can do right now.
Typical Orin fashion as he sits up from being unconscious, just Torog's tongs that hurt. Every time I get knocked out, it's gonna happen. It's a new catchphrase.
Unfortunately,
trademark. Thank you.
Only says it when he goes down.
Yes, only when he wakes up from being knocked out.
Torog's
I have nothing to help. I have 0 healing spells and no channels.
Well, do you have any spells? Not that you have to do this, but you could convert them to cure light wounds. I think, unless your archetype got rid of that.
Theros.
Theros has a wand as soon as he's no longer.
Yeah.
I thought the only ones I could convert were ones that were inflict light wounds.
I don't think so, because I think like Theros can spontaneously cast Summon Nature's Ally. I think you can spontaneously cast Cure Light Wounds.
That might be true.
Jason?
I believe so.
The verdict is on you.
A good cleric can channel stored spell energy into healing spells that she did not prepare ahead of time. The cleric can lose any prepared spell that is not an origin or domain spell in order to cast any cure spell of the same spell level or lower.
Oh,
well, that's
I'm
how
sorry.
they did
Only a female cleric can do that. Sorry, Orin. Specifically said she.
Okay, so I've got a couple of cure light wounds I'll use on.
I mean, not saying that you have to.
No.
I don't want you to waste your spells, but
Well, before you do that, I mean, I think Theros would be acting first because he's still coming up. Theros would have reverted back to his regular form and cast Cure Light Wounds using the wand on Volus and Aiden.
Go ahead and do Volus first, I assume.
He is MVP.
So that's actually kind of cool. I didn't realize they actually describe it as stored. So in the universe, maybe your spells per day is like related to your innate like magical affinity, like how much power you literally hold. It's kind of
and it says that it's alignment based. I mean, it's a good thing I'm a good cleric. I mean, can you be a
That's 4 for each of you.
Sure you can.
Yeah, if you worship an evil god.
You can be a neutral cleric if you want to. I don't know why.
I like to think that a cleric's number of spells per day is a direct correlation to how good they are at devoting themselves. And then like a wizard's spells per day is just how much he can memorize in a given day.
How much does he read? Is he a speed reader?
Did you see, Josh, you got 4?
Oh, I got 4. Okay, so he... Okie dokie. So as he comes into consciousness, and he's barely conscious at the moment, I think there's kind of like, he looks around and like immediately recognizes what's happening and what happened. And he's got those like those like painful burning tears. He's just so frustrated that once again he wasn't the last one standing, and he put someone in that position, and so he's just like quiet and just like trying to hold back anger and tears, and it's just like he doesn't stand up or anything. He just like fighting them back.
It's a good thing that coming back up from being unconscious isn't like Dark Souls, where you like go down in your maximum HP every time you get knocked out and come back up.
That would not be ideal.
That would be really bad.
That would be.
I could figure out some sort of mechanic for that.
No, I
No,
don't think
not
that's what.
suggesting
No,
it.
that wasn't the
Rolling
situation.
poorly now for the one. That 3 is for you, Josh.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Avocado. Free hell.
Justin, for those of you listening to the podcast later, Justin wrote in the chat, an old man runs up and yells, "You'll never be a ranger," and then scampers into the woods.
Yes, I lost uncle.
Spoilers, dude. Spoilers.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were all going to die. Theros, I thought that thing was going to kill you. I don't like being one of the last to stand, especially for something that you all came and did for me. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is all my fault.
Aiden is shaking and tries to say something, but can't bring himself to talk.
Theros is also frustrated, again, having given into that rage that he was so adamant against using before, and you know, stirring his beast mode, for lack of a better word, wild shape. And he just replies softly to Nyari, "You have nothing to be ashamed of." And then he remains silent after that.
I don't know if this was worth it, though.
Aiden is looking at Illica. Just kind of like doesn't take his gaze off of her and sees, you know, how she's reacting to things.
You're looking at Illica?
Illica.
She has a very vacant expression. She's kind of looking slightly upwards into the starry sky, but she doesn't say anything. She doesn't really make any movements. Rena's still kind of holding on to her arm a little bit.
I don't know if we can continue this. You are all badly beaten up. I don't know if we can do this. What if there's more? What if more of these things rise up when we try to do this ritual? I don't know what I'll do if any of you die.
Aiden is moving to stand up right now, and unfortunately does not have a potion of cure light wounds in my inventory like I thought I did.
Did you use? You had a cure moderate wounds at one point. Did you use that?
No.
I gave it to you. You remember?
Oh.
You took it when you went scouting off by yourself, and you almost met that cat thing again.
Yeah.
You had
I
taken
still
that
have
potion.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you had used it. I didn't remember you using it.
Yeah, I didn't. So he's gonna remember that he has that because for him it was 2 days ago. For me it was 3 weeks.
It was a long time.
And so he is going to go ahead and use that cure moderate. So that's gonna be what, 2d8 plus 3?
3. Correct.
Alright.
Show it to me on your character sheet.
Nah, I don't feel like it. It's not
I have
bad.
a scroll of cure light wounds that I can use.
Ooh, alright, not bad.
Jason, if you need
You
to see
literally
it, it's
rolled a max die and a minimum die.
minimum die. Jason, it was on the party inventory sheet. So
Not canon.
He's being facetious.
Doesn't
Don't-
count.
What are you rolling for again?
Don't listen to him. His opinion doesn't matter.
that was he used a cure light wound or cure moderate wounds on himself, and then Oren, you said you had the scroll of
Oh man.
Cure light wounds.
cure light wounds.
Yeah, so I was gonna use that on myself if everybody's alright with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do you.
Without
I
as
shall.
he's going to stand up, he keeps his vision on Ilika and doesn't look to anyone else as he's talking. And Iden will say, like, still shaking off some of the shakes.
It will be worth it, Niari.
And now he'll turn to look at everyone else.
If more come, we will fight them. That is
Well.
what we do.
Let's first see if there's anything that might help us on any of these guys. So she's looking specifically for potions.
Okay. So you're looking over all of these corpses here. Obviously, the zombies and the skeletons don't have anything particularly useful. Okay, so we'll start with the war priest.
Okay.
So a
Big
couple
guy.
things that he has. He has a light flail, some
That's
javelins.
It's not
Yep.
even masterwork
just-
or anything?
Nope, just a normal light flail.
Dang.
That's really dumb, Jason. It's really dumb.
You don't need much more when you
That
can
thing
just-
was wrecking us.
Well, yeah, you don't need much more when you have like sacred weapon, your evil blessing, magic weapon, spell.
All of the buffs.
Sacred weapon is no joke, though, for real.
What the heck
yeah.
is sacred weapon?
So basically, what he had done is he had done an oil of magic weapon to make his weapon a +1. He then used sacred weapon to give it an enhancement bonus, that's how he got the corrosive. So he added the 1d6
Oh.
corrosive, but he only did it for 4 rounds because he can only use that ability for 4 rounds.
Is it an enhancement bonus? I think it's a profane bonus.
Why don't I have sacred weapon?
It's an
Because of the-
enhancement bonus. There's no such thing as a.
Is
This
it
like
not?
this is like an actual weapon enhancement bonus.
Yeah, no, it's a war priest thing, not
Huh.
a cleric thing.
It's also a paladin thing, I think.
That's
You-
cool.
Next level, Orin becomes a war priest.
Multi-classes.
Paladin.
You
But,
could be, yeah, you're lawful good. Paladin of Torog.
They
Yeah,
exist.
so light flail, some javelins, which he never used. I think I forgot that he had those.
All right, I'm not really interested in those.
Masterwork chainmail, masterwork heavy wooden shield. He used
Mm.
a couple of those potions. The only potion that he has left that wasn't used is was one potion of cure light.
Okay, who needs that? What are you guys looking at for HP?
I'm at 18.
I'd say my HP is about a 6.
Okay, Theros, you take it. I'm at 19.
Same with Volus. Volus and Theros are both at 6.
Yikes.
dear. Oh, how
Okay.
are we doing on the wand?
I'm gonna burn one more spell just to cast one more time on myself.
You're also still showing us dead.
Yeah, Jason.
Also, be
dwarves.
careful about. I mean, if we do run into something.
What did you give Theros?
I burned
Potion of Cure Light Wounds.
Okay.
barbed chains is what I burned.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
not
sad.
a huge deal.
No.
I just wrote in the inventory masterwork chain meal, not
Chain meal.
chain meal.
Delicious.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Ooh, there's finally a good roll.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about.
All right.
Now we're back
Theros
to
is
it.
at 15 now, and Volus is at 12.
And I'm at 21.
Ooh, you're gonna live
And-
forever.
And our wand
Still
at
not
Cure Light
amazing.
Wounds is down to 16 uses left.
Oh man, we're just burning through that wand. Yikes.
Well, we might have to burn if we're. Well, we'll figure
It
it
doesn't
out.
help I had to use all 3 channels during the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm
we're-
so nervous about
staying-
this.
If we're staying here, we've got to heal up. If we're like leaving now, then that's a different situation.
Are we? We're
Is
just
this
gonna
where we
leave.
need to be?
Yes.
Is this where we
I
need
was
to
like,
be?
Yeah,
we
we
fought all
just-
these things. we're just
So-
gonna go.
Okay,
So my
bye.
point is, we probably would want to consider. Well, maybe we don't though. Maybe we just.
We
I
poke
mean-
Ilika with a stick, and if nothing happens, we leave.
Like we're on a timeline here. We've got to do it when we
Yeah.
don't know if tomorrow's gonna be cloudy. Or
No, we have to wait for
overcast.
when it's as dark as possible. Which, how many hours from now is that, Jace?
It's probably another. So you're getting right into the night at this point. So probably
we
2
are.
hours or so.
For those of you
Okay.
joining us for the first time for the stream or the podcast, we are at this mound because Nyari's friend Ilika, who is mostly, I don't know, how would you describe it? Catatonic state?
Catatonic, basically.
Nyari had visions that seemed to indicate that she needed to bring her friend to this Kellid Shrine in order to remove that catatonic state from her, and it has to be at the specific time, and that's what we're endeavoring to do.
Yeah, because it has to be a dark night, but the stars have to be visible, so it has to be like a
Yeah.
really starry night. So
Right.
we were confused, thinking we needed a full moon, but we wanted not a full moon.
So we found another Cure Light Wounds, Jace.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm writing out. So the heavy trooper had 1 Cure Light Wounds, 1 Potion of Endure Elements, and then 2 Alchemist Fires.
Okay, 1 endure elements, 2 alchemist fire, 1 endure elements. Ooh, we're just stacking up the alchemist fire. We got 4 of them bad boys.
Well,
And
I was gonna
then
say I'm
the
gonna
last.
one of them at least.
Well, there's a couple more. So the last ones is that the Grenadiers, they each had. So these numbers are doubled because there were 2 Grenadiers. So they each had 1 Cure Light Wounds potion.
Okay,
They each had 2 Alchemist Fires.
so that's another 4.
Yes.
Whoa.
They
okay.
each had a healer's kit. You've got a couple of those. They each
Okay.
had 4 oils, vials of oil,
Okay.
and they each
Tho-
had
those were
a-
2 oils. They're the same oils that we can tell.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just oil.
Oh, just regular oil. It's not like
Yeah,
magical
like-
oil. Okay.
No,
like
like
lamp
setting
oil.
things on fire. Oil.
Oh, okay.
I took one of the oils and one of the 2 of the Alchemist Fire.
And then they each had a smoke stick.
Kinda doesn't
Okay.
matter.
I'm just putting. Well, we can figure out who has what later, but I'm just rating it cumulatively on the inventory
Yep.
sheet.
And
Sure.
if you collectively get all of the gold pieces that each of them had, you would get. Just doing some quick math. So
And the zombies.
100. Whoop.
Go ahead, sorry.
132 gold pieces across the 6 of the hobgoblins there.
32.
132.
Oh, 132.
And the zombies didn't have anything on them, right?
No, they didn't have anything on them really.
Just bones.
Right.
Lots
Them
of bones.
Them bones. Yeah.
Them bones.
Okay.
So yeah, what are you guys gonna do about that? Actually, you're on this mound and you've got half a dozen hobgoblin corpses here, and then you've got like a full dozen of resurrected undead corpses that have kind of sprung from their graves. What are you doing with all that?
Probably. I mean,
Nyari is going to want to.
Lay them back to
Oh,
rest.
man, that's
you want to.
well. So the ground where they came up is already disturbed. So it's not like we would have to completely dig new graves. It's just kind of like.
Yeah, they
Shove 'em
punched
back
their
in.
way through. Yeah, you could probably reinter them. One thing that I should point out before too much time passes is that the staff that the war priest had plunged into the mound is still there. It's
Oh.
still
Wow.
plunged upright in the mound, and that dark energy is still kind of going around it. It's not as strong before because the ritual isn't currently being enacted still, but it is still there in the mound.
Can I take perception maybe to notice like anything else, like the immediate surroundings? I want to make sure that there's no other threats. I want to look out across the plains and just
You
know,
don't see anything. It's night.
Would any of us be able to do a knowledge like Arcana or Religion to figure out what that staff is doing, or
Yeah.
what that spell is that's taking place?
Is that here?
Yeah, it's right where Orin is, basically. And I would say
I
that,
wouldn't-
given your knowledges before, you kind of interpreting what his chant was, what his ritual was, is the staff is basically just channeling. He's basically desecrating this area and trying to raise the dead around. He's already partially succeeded with raising some of the corpses here, but the staff is still currently enacting this sort of desecration of the altar itself.
Would Aiden know how to stop that, or if it's dangerous to approach, or?
Can
Yeah,
roll a knowledge religion on that one.
All right, I'll do that.
fame.
Oh, not bad.
Okay.
Alright.
Ooh.
I know nothing.
I really hope it's
Religion?
funny.
I have no religion.
It's too dark for Orin.
He's funny, and I have a chance.
What the
here.
god?
Torog is my co-pilot.
Torag, take the wheel.
Oh, dear goodness.
Aiden, you're looking at this, and you think, like, you don't have a lot of formal training, but you were told a lot of stories by your grandfather, and you think that if you're able to pull the staff out and break it in some way, and just sunder the staff itself, then it will no longer be functional as a channel for this ritual, and the whole thing will just break.
He does so.
Yep, you
It
go up,
takes a
you
negative level.
I was gonna
you take
suggest
5 negative
burning
levels.
it, but
He
okay.
just dies instant.
No,
You
he'll,
go up, you grasp it, you pull it out, and you snap it in half. And as soon as you do, that swirling dark energy just kind of evaporates
That seems
into the air.
super in character for Aiden to do anyway.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
like pick it up. Just...
yeah. No, that was
Cross
my
rage
thing.
now.
That was why I was like, that's what I was going to have him do, but I didn't want Aiden to die, to be honest. So if he was gonna be like, oh, I don't know, you might not want to touch that, then I was gonna be like, all right, well, then maybe he wouldn't fix it. But yeah, no, he was absolutely.
This is my favorite terrain. Snaps it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't need no magical beast to be cool.
Where to find them?
So yeah, so he will do that, and then we'll take a further inspection of the surroundings and this. If he notices anything,
Yeah, I
false,
want to examine that thing.
He'll leave that to the more magically attuned people as he kind of just circles the top of the mound, like just all the way around, and is like looking everywhere and making sure everything's dead that could be dead.
So you look around, you follow around this mound, and you have the light above your head, which illuminates to, 20, 40 feet of dim light.
30, like
And- Yeah, I think like a torch would be 20 feet normal light, and then another 20 feet for dim light, so 40 feet.
yeah.
right. So if you were to walk around the mound and look out as far as you can into the darkness, and if Theros were to look as well, because he can see double the range, you don't see anything in the immediate vicinity. None of the other graves are disturbed. It doesn't look like anything's trying to get out or anything like that. There's just the dozen or so graves that the undead had already ripped their way through and are just empty there. There's nothing really in there of interest. As
If
you
I
look around.
shield the flame from my from emitting light with my cloak, something like that, and allow my eyes to adjust to the light sensitivity, do I see anything in the distance that glows or moves? Like a
I would
light.
say if you put out the lights and wait for a bit until the starlight really illuminates the
Yeah,
area.
like your eyes
Remember, this is a moonless night, so there's no moonlight
Sure.
giving you anything.
Right.
But yeah, roll a perception to see how much I'll allow you to see with that.
Yeah. There's a difference between game you can't see in the dark and real life you can make shapes out in the dark. You know what I mean? Or light sources from afar. Holy cow, perception. And remember, it's too higher to notice a magical beast. Wow. This is not a bad roll. Oh, way to go, Theros.
Okay, all right. Watch this, guys. Watch this.
Here comes a 1.
Oh, not
Hey.
actually that bad.
All right, so we're pretty perceptive, Jace. We're heroes after all.
Yep. You're looking around. There are no lights for however far as you can see. It doesn't look like anybody is traveling by torchlight. You don't see any movement that seems to be dangerous to you. I mean, like maybe you see an animal running here or there, like a small animal. You might even see like a wolf in the distance, or some bison, some aurochs, I believe is what they're called in Near Mythos.
Food.
But you don't see anything immediately concerning.
Okay, so satisfied with that, he'll kind of let his flame go up again once he feels like, all right, there's nothing that's going to see us, and take a shot from afar. And yeah, that'll be the end of Aiden's actions while the rest of the party does their thing.
Okay.
Nayari is
And-
inspecting the stone. So I'm trying to think. So is it like carved like an obelisk, or is it just literally like an ovalish stone that's set on the top of this mound?
It looks like it, as far as you can tell, it could be a little bit of both. It could have been a stone that was here, and then they kind of smoothened or chiseled it so that it had more of a fine circular obelisk shape. But
Okay.
it goes up a good 20, maybe more feet into the air, and near the midpoint and top, there's a couple, I believe 3 open circles right in there that the wind can pass through and give like a whistling noise. And as you guys are inspecting this obelisk, you can see in the front where Orin is currently standing, there is a small area carved into it for a shrine. And if you circle around to the back, there's an identical carving in there for a different shrine. And if you're looking at them, not even going to have you roll, you just be able to realize that one of them is a shrine to Desna and the other is a shrine to Gorum.
So the shrines are actually there?
Yes.
Okay.
They've been worn down by time by a bit,
Okay.
but they're still distinctly, you can make out symbols that you know what deity these shrines are for.
I smash them both.
Desna's a cool god.
Should probably pay tribute, I would imagine.
Is
Some kind.
there any writing anywhere on this stone thing?
There's no writing necessarily. There are, or at least any writing that was there would have been worn away by the passage of time, because who knows how many years this mound has been kind of abandoned. The Kellids haven't lived in Nirmathos for a long time, and Nirmathos is prone to some fancy storms.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not able to make out any legible writing. You can just see the distinct symbols of Desna and Gorum that were carved very deeply into this stone. So even with a lot of wear and tear, you can still make those out, but anything else is a bit hard to read.
Okay. So is there anything from the vision that she had that gives her indication as to what exactly she needs to do?
Yes, so I would say, and this could encompass the discussion with Veld after the visions.
You mentioned that in the past.
Yeah, so what you saw in the vision was a group of people kind of worshipping here, and then that turned into what you now realize was these hobgoblins desecrating the area. And Veld's interpretation, and what she told you with all this information, was that given that the deity that you are associating Illica with is Desna, she said probably should go there on a moonless night, and you will probably bring Illica to kneel in front of the shrine of Desna and recite some kind of Kellid prayer. She doesn't have any idea what kind of Kellid prayers there are, but she said recite some sort of Kellid prayer of healing or restoration or something like that, beseeching Desna to heal Illica or do whatever needs to be done in this divine ritual. And she would have given you a small vial of that incense that she used on you to elicit the visions, and she would have told you to blow this into Illica's eyes like she did to you, and have her go through a similar experience that you did, so that she can hopefully be broken free of whatever mental duress she is suffering from.
All right. Well, should we try this and see what happens?
Iden nods.
Same with Orin, yeah.
She
Excitedly.
will walk
Real quick.
over
Real
to
quick,
Illica.
did you reinter those bodies, or was that just something you said you could do? I wasn't paying attention.
Well, she's going to at some point. I don't know if we
Well,
had
assuming-
enough time to go through and do all of them before.
You would have had 2 hours.
Yeah, he said we had to wait 2 hours anyway, so
Yeah.
I figured we spend that time just putting the bodies away.
Yeah. So then she absolutely would have. She was going to either the next day if we stay here tonight, or Jason's like, I gotta clear the map for the rest of the encounters that are gonna happen after this.
I just don't like seeing so many things on the screen, so I was wondering if I could delete
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it's
Okay.
it's you had to get favor by reburying them, otherwise she's not going to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She wants another owl to give her some good items in the future.
Oh, the
This time-
funeral ceremonies.
This time you see a turtle slowly walking up towards you.
No, no turtles. Actually, this time the owl comes and takes the bracers away, but Aiden's the one that has them, so.
I don't know lore-wise. How does Torog feel about Desna? Do you know, Jace?
They're buds.
Not
Are
off
they
the
both-
top of my head. He probably is kind of neutral about it, I would guess.
I'll be honest, I just read the wiki page. There's no reference between the two of them.
Yeah,
But
he's
based on
probably
her
pretty
alignment,
neutral.
yeah, based on her alignment, they're probably
Is she lawful good or is she neutral good?
chaotic.
Chaotic.
Oh, she's chaotic?
She's chaotic good. The god of freedom. True freedom.
True freedom.
So, Sarah, what were you saying you were doing before I interrupted you there?
She is going over to Illica and taking her by both of her hands and leading her over to the stone. And she's gonna look her in the eyes, and Illica has that vacant look, that spacey, she's not all there, and Nairi knows that look well. The past couple of years, she didn't really spend too much time with Illica, mainly because Nairi has a fear of weakness, and to her, Illica is weak, and she didn't want to be around somebody weak. So she was afraid to keep company with Illica for the past couple of years, but now she's starting to come to terms with her own weakness, with everything that they've been through, and watching her friends go down, and she's taken a lot of hits and has been ineffective at times, so she's struggling to deal with her own weakness. So she's looking Illica in the eyes, and she will say, Illica, I don't know what's going to happen, but please know that I'm doing this for you, and I would never want to do something to hurt you. And she will say to everyone else, she'll say, I wasn't very involved in any sort of restoration rituals that we used to do back home. But there was a song that they used to sing in Hallett. I'll do my best to translate. It's probably not going to be very good. It's been a long time since I've heard it, but essentially it goes something like this. We ask you, Desna, as Keeper of the Stars, to find the lost warrior and lead them home. You alone can guide the way, else they will be gone forever. Great Gorham, our Lord in Iron, grant strength to the warrior. The fight ahead is full of danger, but your great sword will destroy each foe. Warriors of this tribe gathered together. Alone we are weak, but strength comes from all. Lift your voices with the battle cry, and bring the weary soul back to the fold. Those who come before us give us strength. Those who stand here now give us strength. Those who have passed on give us strength. And together we cannot be defeated. And then she will take the incense that Veld gave her and blow it into Illica's face.
Okay.
How rude.
And as you do that, as you finish this ritualistic song or prayer, those of you that are standing at a slight distance away see something begin to materialize behind Illica. And you also see something materialize behind Nairi. And these two materializations are beginning to spin, and the one behind Nairi begins to form a shape, a humanoid shape. And just as she's beginning to blow this incense into Ilika's eyes, this shape takes full form and speaks. And Nyari, you hear a voice behind you say, "It has been a long time, sister."
She'll turn slowly and look at him.
And as you turn around, you see your half-brother. I'll blow him up there a little bit. And that image, he looks like a normal person, but from what you're seeing is he's a very ghostly figure. You can see right through him. He's not in physical form. He's basically just a ghost in the form of his old self. And he looks down at you and he says, "I've been watching you for a while, sister, and you have been through quite a bit, but I'm proud that you have gotten this far. You've done well."
Have I, Severin? I don't know that I have.
I believe that you have. But it is not over yet. We have very little time. And he looks over in Ilika's direction. She is not yet free. Whatever being it is that is holding her mind at bay, it will be expelled. You have done well in that regard. But when it is expelled, it is not going to be friendly. It is going to want to regain its host. You will have to banish it. I will do what I can to help you. I will try to hold it back, but I can only do so much. And once my efforts are wasted, you will have to fend for yourselves. And he looks at all of you and he says, "Prepare yourselves." And as he finishes that, you see the shape around Ilika. It's kind of enveloping her, the mist enveloping her, and it's beginning to slowly take shape as well. And you hear this eerie moan begin to sound in the area. And everybody roll initiative, as you'll have one round to prepare before this fully takes place.
Oh
boy.
man. Oh man. Have we fought incorporeals before or not yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to use some knowledge checks to figure out what Aiden might know or might not know.
Does Theros have a higher initiative than Nyari, or is it the other way around?
I have a 2, and he has a 2. Do you want us to roll again? To see who rolls
yeah,
higher?
just roll off to see who goes first.
Probably not gonna be me.
Probably.
Don't jinx me. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So Nyari will go first.
Ah, yes. Story-wise, that
Okay.
makes more sense.
Yep. I realize you're a story guy there, Andrew. You're like,
Yes.
ooh, story-wise, that makes sense. That's good. Say that a lot.
Okay. So you'll each have one round to position yourselves, do whatever it is that you want to do in preparation for this. Starting us off, top of the round, you have Aiden.
Great. Can I roll a knowledge, whatever it is, check to get a sense of what we might fight? Or
Without
seeing
anything being present, I don't think I'm going to allow a knowledge check.
Problem is, I don't have any healing left to do. I can't think of, like...
This isn't good. We're all still kind of low.
Like, I think I know something that Aiden wouldn't know. That's the only thing. So...
You don't have to do anything. I was just giving everybody one round of preparation time.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't have any healings to do either, so he's, just gonna steal himself. I think that is the extent of what he can accomplish.
Do you want to move in any particular position?
It appears as if it's gonna be there.
The mist is enveloping Ilika herself, yes.
Okay. He's gonna kind of like nod and let's see what his movement is. He can't get anywhere. He's going to go to there and ready a shot as soon as something materializes.
Okay. Next up it is Nyari.
I will drink a potion of guidance.
Okay. Do you want to move, or are you going to stand your ground?
I will stay next to Illico.
Okay. Theros and Volus.
Oh boy. Don't know what I'm getting into either. But what does Shield of Faith do? Because I have a potion of Shield of Faith.
It gives you a +2 deflection bonus to your AC.
Oh, I forgot.
Did you have one?
No, I should have done something different.
I have a feeling that
Why not just do it?
that's not helpful against corporeal enemies.
So you
Deflection
don't-
bonuses will help against incorporeals if
Yeah.
this is indeed an incorporeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deflection bonuses are good. Sarah, what did you want to do?
Jason, will you let me redo my turn?
Maybe.
I would have moved down here and cast Mage Armor on Theros. I completely forgot I have that wand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable.
As long as you get rid of that filthy guidance.
Well, I would not get rid of it. I'm going to give it back to myself.
Nope, it's gone.
No.
Forever.
No!
Theros will cast guidance on Nyari.
That's cute.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
So yeah,
We
you'll
both
get a
just,
plus
like,
3. Plus
to each other's shoulders.
Does Mage Armor give him a plus 2?
He has the only armor bonus he has is the bracers of armor.
But he has a shield. Oh, because his armor doesn't not
It's an
shield
armor
bonus. Okay.
bonus.
So you get a plus 3.
Basically, mage armor would not stack with his bracers, so he would get above what he already has is a plus 3. Because mage armor gives you a plus 4 armor bonus, but since you already have a plus 1 armor bonus and they don't stack, it's just 3 higher than what it would normally be.
Yep.
And a little bit of meta, but Mage Armor will also boost your touch AC.
Well, it does not boost your touch AC, but it works against
So which-
incorporeals. I think we looked up.
What should
Yeah,
what
like-
should I put into the stats for the buff for the mage armor then?
+4 to armor. +4
No.
armor.
Well,
bonus.
type in +3 because it's not gonna know that you have a bracers of armor on. So you can just
yeah.
type in
+3 to armor?
+3 to AC.
Okay, so, alright.
to AC.
Got it.
It depends on how
So-
you do it. Sometimes it'll add it up correctly, but you have to have done things different earlier.
Got it. +3 to AC. Dunzo.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that is the retconned Nyari's turn, and then Theros' turn.
Yep.
Did you want to move Volus anywhere, or are you good where you positioned yourself?
Bolus will just move right there.
Okay.
It's gonna be really embarrassing if it doesn't show up in this like circle here in.
I have a feeling that Jace might put it there. Just
Yeah.
And Orin, you have your turn before everything starts.
I've got a Shield of Faith potion on me. Gonna
Okay.
drink that.
Okay, so you drink that. And that is the end of that round. And as that round ends, and I think I almost want to pull Rena back. She's right up in there, but I guess that's how
She's
it's gonna
getting
be.
in on it.
Well, the thing's on her, isn't it?
No, Rena, not Illica.
Oh, Rena.
I mean, if we're preparing to fight something, we would probably be like, Rena, don't.
Yeah, like go hide
Yeah.
over there or something.
I've never seen that image before.
I know.
Wow. What
What's
a
that?
surprise.
What's that? Whoa! Can you blow that up? Wait.
Okay, legitimately, I actually didn't see it the other night when you guys did, so I had no idea what was coming. Like, you guys saw it, and I was like, I didn't get to see it.
I didn't see it
idea.
either
All
until
I
I
saw was
rewatched the
purple.
video.
I didn't see it long. I just saw a flash, but I knew something was
So-
there.
I'll blow it up once I describe what happens here. So at the end of this round, the mist around Illica fully forms, and it's almost as if it's like her eyes go back in her head, kind of like they did with Nyari. Her head kind of goes back, and her mouth is open, and these mists are swirling around her, and it's like the mist is coming out of her mouth as well, as it blooms above her into a shape. And as soon as this shape begins to take form, the ghost of Severin steps up and immediately latches onto it and is attempting to grapple it. And I'll blow up the image for you here.
You.
I love it.
I'm scared. I don't. Because
not
like
great.
Josh, I have meta knowledge, and there was something that both he and I could have done that would have been much more helpful, but
What?
I don't think Nayari knows that.
I don't think Aiden does. I don't think he's ever faced an incorporeal.
So, top of the round. Aiden, you're first. You had technically readied an action, but since it's your turn anyways, might as well just do your turn.
Well, I would get my ready to action, then my turn, wouldn't I?
Well, your ready to action would happen on your turn because this happened. You're the top of the round, and this is like the last thing before the
It
top of
doesn't
the
let
round.
you like go twice, basically. Then. I think it
Well, I
does.
mean, it's the same thing. You could take your ready to action right now, but I'm not going to give you 2 turns in a row.
Gotcha. I understand what you're saying. In that case, I will change the tactics and take a perception if I could,
Yeah, you can do a perception.
or not.
You can
perception.
see it. I don't know.
Knowledge. I mean, I missed
Knowledge, religion. Yep.
religion.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. A 7.
Not gonna do it. I don't
Let
think.
me just look up the DC of that. Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
That's not even one that you could fudge a little bit. That's
No.
just.
No, it's not even like a.
So,
anything.
Aiden, you're taking a look at this thing and you haven't a clue. You've never seen something like this before. You aren't recalling any stories that you've heard of this, whatever this is. You're not sure what you're looking at right here.
And is it on her?
It is directly above her. As soon as it took shape, Ilika's body went limp and kind of fell to the ground. And simultaneously, Severin stepped up and he's grabbing onto this thing, trying to hold it in place.
Okay, then. In that case, I will toss the bow. Seeing that Severin's acted quicker than me, will 5-foot step in there. And you can attack a creature even while it's being grappled, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He'll like try to deal it some damage if he can. So I'll go ahead and roll my attack.
Yeah. Take a swing.
Misses.
Oh, man. Natural 1.
Oh
You gotta
no!
love that. You gotta
It's
love it.
actually, yeah, natural 1.
So you swing at it and you completely miss.
Yeah.
You're not
Well,
even-
Severin's like wrestling with it, so I'm
Yeah.
sure he like goes
Yeah.
to try and it just falls out of the way. Like there's no chance.
yeah,
chops
these
off Severin's
these
arm.
2 ghostly figures are kind of wrestling with each other, and you're trying not to hit one of them, but it's a tough one, and you're not able to get a clean slash off. So that was. Is there anything else on your turn you can do, or is that it?
A move equivalent, but that's gonna be it because I had to draw my sword technically because I dropped the bow.
Okay. And Nayari, you're up. You see this figure and your half-brother, the ghost of your half-brother, wrestling in front of you. Ilika is prone on the ground here.
Yikes. 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 Well, I think she would probably try to hit it and see what happens.
Yeah. that's what I thought
So I did get guidance, correct?
Yes.
Did you actually cast that, Theros?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there will be a +1 because I don't have a buff for this, but I'm going to use it for my attack.
Okay.
No.
So that's a
Jeez.
12.
That's a 2. A 2!
Every time.
Don't
Ryan-
start with me tonight. I'm going to get feisty.
You go to slash at this creature, and it's similar to what happened with Aiden, but your blade does connect with it
yes.
in so much as it goes straight through it.
Nice. We at least learned that though. That's what we were fishing for. So he gave it to us.
Would you give me just a straight intelligence roll since I don't have knowledge religion? Since this is a Kellid thing.
Oh, that's rich.
For what? To realize
to
that it's
see-
incorporeal, or to identify it?
Yeah, to
To
essentially.
learn one very important part about fighting incorporeal creatures.
I wouldn't let you identify it, but you can roll a knowledge check to try to interpret what happened. But if that's the case, I'd do a wisdom check because it's more of a interpretation of what happened.
Well, nope.
Oh.
we all know Niari and her wisdom.
So last week I rolled 2 nat 1s in a row, and this week I'm rolling 2 nat 2s in a row. We're off to a good start, guys. We're slowly progressing up the die.
It's fine, Sarah. We just need to
Sarah's gonna whip out
the
her
newer players a
physical
little
dice
bit.
here soon.
Take a back seat. Stop trying to metagame. Like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
But I want to metagame because it'll be so much better if I do the thing I can do.
It's okay. It's
That's
okay.
unlike
At least
you,
2
Sarah.
of us are gonna die. And
Stop
it'll
it.
be all Nairi's fault.
Stop it.
So
Stop it.
it's Theros' turn again?
It is now. Well,
Yeah, because
you-
I don't think. I'm gonna 5-foot step.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
Where's your
Okay.
5-foot step to?
Behind Severin.
Oh, there it
Oh,
goes.
okay,
Did
just
it not connect?
took like a solid 6 seconds.
Nice.
Same.
now it is Theros and Volus's turn.
Theros is going to 5-foot step over to Nyari and cast guidance again on her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theros has never encountered anything like this, so he's going to. He doesn't know what to do about it, so he's going to tell Volus to guard, to protect Rhina.
No, she's not there. She's over here.
Oh,
Okay.
to protect Iden.
Okay. As you give him that command, make a handle animal, ride, or wild empathy check.
Ride?
Oh no.
One of those
Yeah.
3.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Can I aid the wild empathy check?
No.
Hey, Volus,
What would I do for wild empathy?
A diplomacy check.
Wild empathy is your level plus your charisma.
Yep.
We all know
I
Theros.
don't know if that
super
is higher or lower
charismatic.
than your.
I'm going to try ride. That's going to be far better. There we go.
Oh, nice.
I put a bunch of points into ride so I could eventually ride Volus.
Amazing.
So you try to coax him to that position. He will not approach.
Oh, okay.
Even with a 22.
Even with the 22, probably DC
He starts.
25.
He starts actually like slightly stepping backwards. You can see he's shaking a little bit. He's not willing to approach this creature.
Oh, poor bear.
Oh.
Jason's just like, I don't want to have 6 people up against this thing, so I'm gonna force one out of the combat.
Yeah, the best part of my
Yeah,
kit.
right.
The only part of my kit I have left.
Hey,
Okay.
you have guidance.
Thanks, Josh. My turn is over.
Okay.
Thanks, Jesus.
Now on the creature's turn,
Oh gosh. I'll be
That-
back, guys. I can hear you though.
that moaning sound that you had heard slowly coming to your ears before this creature had taken shape continues to kind of crescendo as it finally incarnates into this form, and it is a wail of agony and despair, and it is grabbed by Severin, but it almost doesn't even recognize it. It's like shocked. It's almost stunned, it looks like, by this sudden expulsion that has been caused by this ritual. And its moan, its wail just pierces the area. And I need everyone within 30 feet, which is literally everyone, to make a will saving throw.
Oh no. That's really bad.
This will be good.
I don't know if you can roll
This
for
is
Iden,
bad.
Jason.
This will be good.
I'll roll something in the chat here.
That's how many negative levels we take.
Boo, I'm back. I'm back. I'm
Stop,
back.
don't
you
say
dare
that.
roll my will save.
That's the number of rounds that something is going to happen. That we're
fear.
paralyzed with
So,
fear.
I had to put some food in the fridge. And then I also decided to grab a drink.
What is that? What is that? 20? What is that? 20?
Okay, so I rolled two things in the chat. I rolled a 2d6 and I rolled a d20 in the chat. The d20 was Rena's will save. So she rolled a natural 20. She's keeping it together.
Well, she's like, she's too far away. She doesn't understand what's going on.
Way to scare us like all get out, Jace.
The 2d. Okay, so this cry of despair echoes out for 30 feet, and everybody who failed a DC 15 will save, which is everybody except Oren, Aiden, and technically Rena, but she's not going to be doing anything.
Sure she could. She might. You don't know.
No, I don't think so. So everybody who failed is going to be shaken for 6 rounds.
This is
Those of you who passed will be shaken for 1 round.
Oh, it's one of those like where it still gets you, like at least for a round.
This is
Yep.
the fight against the Den Mother all over again. Literally, exactly the same.
Everybody just remember while we're here.
That is its turn, and
Angelica.
Severin will
I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out of here.
Sorry,
Severin
Jason,
will
go ahead.
continue to grapple this creature. And at the bottom of the round, we have Oren. You're right next to this.
What a bro. What a bro.
Can I do a religion check?
Yeah. Go
Please
for it.
roll high, my dude.
Ooh.
That shaken's not great.
No, that takes a -2 on that.
2.
I swear to God, if the DC was 15 to identify it, I will punch you.
Me or Jason? He's like both.
So I will allow you to identify it,
Okay.
but you're not going to get a whole lot of information
Okay.
with that roll. So Oren, as a cleric, you know a little bit about undead, and one
It's
of the
undead?
yes,
Oh.
one of the types of undead that you think that this might be, roll wasn't great, so you're not like 100% certain or anything, but you think that this is probably some type of wraith.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know what that
And-
means, but it sounds bad.
Justin,
like
I will
that.
say
Sure, it's a
the-
wraith. No big deal. Oh,
the
whatever.
one piece of information that you would know, just basically by default having identified it as a wraith, is that it is incorporeal.
Yeah. We have
So-
the information that we need.
I will copy paste incorporeal in the chat, but I'll also read a little bit of it here.
Oh,
That's
So, an incorporeal creature has no physical body. It can be harmed only by other incorporeal creatures, magic weapons, or creatures that strike as magic weapons, and spells, spell-like abilities, or supernatural abilities. It is immune to all non-magical attack forms. Even when hit by spells or magic weapons, it only takes half damage from a corporeal source, except channel energy. Although it is not a magical attack, holy water can be used to affect it. Corporeal spells and effects that do not cause damage have a 50% chance of affecting an incorporeal creature. Force spells and effects, such as a magic missile, affect an incorporeal creature normally. And then there's a bunch of other stuff on there, but the big one is just non-magical attacks do nothing against an incorporeal creature. It just passes right through it, doing no damage.
Well, it's gonna change my tactics.
I was thinking about that. Without that information, how do you possibly win against an incorporeal at this level?
You figure it out by not hitting it for a couple turns.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't do anything against it.
Yeah.
I don't have any spells left, and I don't have any magical weapons.
You don't got no magic fang left to cast on Volus?
No.
Yeah, like Volus is gonna run up there and you were like, no, Volus is not in this fight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that is too.
No.
Is
be
It has an unnatural aura, so animals do not willingly approach within 30 feet unless you make a handle animal ride or wild entity check.
Well, he made the check, so he can approach.
He didn't make the DC of the check.
You didn't say that was part of. You just said he had to make the check.
Sarah,
Because
how are we on the
I
same
skipped
team
over the
tonight?
DC number.
Josh and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I don't know what's up, but that's an uncommon occurrence, but I'm down for it.
As you would say, we vibin'.
we straight vibing, Sarah.
I can't believe I said that.
So, is a +1 a magic weapon?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Don't
your
forget-
warhammer is a magic weapon. You can deal half damage to it if you hit.
Yes.
Andrew, you can also aid another is another thing that you can do.
So,
Big-
I'm gonna try and hit him.
Ooh.
Does a
Oh my.
24 hit, Jason? Does a 24 hit?
Oh,
Oh, watch
A
it say
24
no.
poking the bear! You poking the bear!
A 24 does hit the grappled creature,
Oh,
dealing half of that damage.
Sure.
Okay.
That's a good hit, though.
Yeah,
Not bad.
You swing your warhammer at this creature, and the warhammer does pass through it, but it kind of carries some of the mist from this creature with it and kind of pulls it apart slightly, and you do damage.
I assume Warren yells out something, or
Yeah, I mean, he'll yell out that it's incorporeal, absolutely.
right.
Do I
Does he
still...
say only magic weapons can hurt it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Get within 1 5-foot step, as, Narmathis' measuring unit, and magic weapons hurt it. Now, my question was going to be, do I still have a 5-foot step, or did I use my movement to do my knowledge check? I don't know how that works.
Knowledge checks are free actions. They don't technically take anything.
Okay, then I will 5-foot step here.
Okay. And that is the end of that round. Aiden, you're up.
All right. So he has a brain.
Maybe.
That's a good start.
5-foot step.
Okay.
Drop the greatsword, right?
Okay.
That's the way I have to do it. And
Go on to.
then, yep, and then get out the magic dagger thanks to Orin's amazing instructions. And I am flanking it now, right?
Yes, yeah, you're flanking it.
Yes, I'm flanking
I
it.
assume a grappling creature counts as a flanking partner.
I think so.
I can still
I'm-
make attacks, so I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And I've got flank and power attack, and the dagger is appropriately programmed to only do strength, not two-handed strength for some reason like it was.
Okay.
And I think that we are all good. All right, here we go. Let's big numbers here, guys. Big numbers.
Oh, and that's a question. Am I still shaken now that my turn's over?
No.
You are shaken until his turn starts.
Till
Yes.
his next
I
turn.
lied.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay, Aiden, you rolled a 14 against its grappled AC. That is a hit.
Ooh.
It has AC.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 6 points of damage goes through. That is a +1 dagger.
Okay. Absolutely.
So as he kind of like sees him grappling and he hears Orin's instructions, he drops the great sword. Once again, using Theros' blade, stabs right into it as he takes a step forward.
Okay. Next up, it is Nyari.
Wait, where'd you get a magical dagger from?
You.
Was that a +1 dagger?
Yep.
That's magical?
Yep. Anything +1 is magical.
Theros,
Okay,
I
well,
thought
I
you
guess I
also
can-
had a.
I do. So I can
I
do
forg-
something.
Yeah, I forget how. Yes. Okay, so weapons with a plus something have what's called an enhancement. In order for that to exist, it has to be a magic weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, the progression is you have your. Let's take a dagger, for example. You have your normal dagger, right? Just a mundane, normal dagger. Masterwork dagger, also mundane, but really fancy. A lot of people like that one more than the normal one. And if you have a +1 dagger, it is a magical +1 enhancement bonus that the dagger now has.
Okay.
A dagger, you can actually craft these with rules and whatnot. In order to have a +1 dagger, you have to take a masterwork and then add the stuff. There's a whole rules
To
to
be
it.
honest,
But
probably gonna
yeah.
just be better off for me to cast guidance on people anyway, because my to hit on a dagger
Does
is
his
gonna
cold
be pretty
iron?
nasty.
Well, to be
Hit?
fair, The dagger that you have is a masterwork dagger, if I'm not mistaken. So it's
I have a
not
+1 dagger. No, my
Are you?
my scimitar is masterwork.
Huh?
Masterwork
both have
cold
a
iron
+1
scimitar.
And to answer you, Justin, cold iron doesn't do anything particular against magical. Like, cold iron is just a type of material that does well against certain types of creatures.
Yeah, so if they had DR cold iron, that means that nothing would go through the DR except for cold iron.
Which I think, spoilers, is werewolves and that kind of stuff.
Werewolves
A lot
is
of demons,
silver.
I think.
And
Devils,
fae.
demons.
A lot of demons have cold iron. I think some fae have cold iron. They're the
Demons I
primary
know
ones.
do, like the evil demons for sure.
Yep.
Vampires might. I don't think so though. They have something else. Can't remember. Doesn't matter.
So is that the extent of your turn, Aiden?
Oh yeah, I'm done because I can drop free action, draw as part. Well, not as part of the move. It's the move action because I 5-foot step and then attack with standard action.
Okay.
That's it.
Theros and Volus, you're up again.
There's
Wait, me? Hello.
That's Orin's.
Oh, sorry.
not
Yeah,
ours.
I had
I was queued up to move.
I had clicked next on Aiden, and then we were
Oh.
talking, and then I clicked next again, and I went down. So
I've
yeah,
done that
Nayari.
before. Yep, I've done that. All right, I need you to roll a reflex save.
No,
Por favor.
I'd rather not. Okay,
Won't
not
do
got a
much.
great reflex.
Well, the DC is
19.
not high. You're
Oof.
fine. You take 4 points of fire damage.
So 2 points of fire damage.
No, did you pass?
No,
or-
I rolled 8, so you
Yes.
take 4. But it's a spell.
But I take so if it's from a corporeal source, even magic weapons and spells do half damage. So I would take half of half. So I would do 2 damage, correct?
Sure.
I believe that is what it said there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Corporeal spells. That's the
Force
one.
is the only exception.
Sarah,
Yeah.
throw a fireball at it.
So magic, the missile one, magic missile.
Yeah, magic missile will work, but corporeal spells will only do half the damage. So he takes 2 damage.
That's why when you're an alchemist, you want the force bomb discovery so that you can bypass the DR of everyone.
Yes.
Good to know.
And is that all you're gonna? Well, you moved, and okay. So that is Nayari's turn for this round. Now we're on to Theros and Volus.
Yes, Theros is waiting for the music to start again. He, much like Volus, needs music in order to act.
Makes
Indeed.
sense.
And with that, he will cast guidance on Orin after moving over here.
Okay.
Sure. I feel
Oh,
guided.
boy.
Is that
There's just
your
whispers
turn?
into your ear like, hey, I think you should try this. Just like gives you a spell.
Okay. And Volus is gonna stay where he is.
Doesn't sound like he's gonna really want to do much, and he can't really do much, so yeah, he's just gonna chill there.
Okay. Moving on to the creature's turn. The creature, you hear a voice come from this creature, and it says, "No."
Yeah.
As his wispy voice
With
rings
his dying
out.
breath.
Says, "You cannot banish me. I will slay you all and regain what is mine." As he is going to make an attack against. I'll roll for it here. Ooh, it's gonna be Nayari.
Oh boy.
So, this is going to be an incorporeal touch attack. So this is against your touch AC.
I'm gonna say this is probably bye-bye to my strength, but we'll see.
Not a great roll. So that is an 11 against
Oh, that-
touch.
Actually, it does not hit.
I missed.
Yep.
Surprisingly.
I rolled very poorly on
I didn't
the
want to
die.
steal your thunder, but I accidentally memorized your AC.
So, Josh, the noise that you just made sounded like the beep when they were like covering up someone cursing, and I was like, "Whoa, how did that happen?" Oh, in the moment, we're live.
That was Sammy in the
Andrew's
chat. He's
genius.
cursing
He's
over
on
here.
top of it.
Yeah, we got that 5-second delay going just
Yeah.
in case I lose control. We can keep our clean tag.
Thanks for beeping us out, Sammy.
Sponsored, and we have the FCC watching us.
Yeah, right.
That is his turn. We're back up to Orin.
Orin's gonna look this thing in what he assumes is his eyeballs, and be like, "Yes," and then move up to swing at her.
I'll kill him.
You can try.
He can succeed. I give him permission. That
That will hit.
that'll hit.
Grappled
I-
AC.
Yeah, because he's grappled still by the guy. That's really helpful.
Okay, so you moved up. You made your attack. Now, at the top of the round,
I said, do you have a move equivalent action you want to utilize, or are you good?
I moved up.
That's a 5-foot step.
Oh,
Like if you want, like drawing something, or I don't know, whatever you want to do.
no,
You good?
no.
He pulls out a sketch pad. He's like, I will draw something, actually.
I've unlocked my
Okay.
artists.
Yeah.
Sarah, that was
That was good. That was good. You did great.
Julian would be proud.
top of the round, it's back over to Aiden.
Oh, is it really all the way back? Well, I'm
Yeah.
no longer shaken either, so I can take that off.
Correct. Yep. At the end of that round, or at the start of his turn on that round, the shaken went away.
So I'm no longer shaken, and I'm actually still flanking with it. And I still have the weapon of choice out. So I mean, nothing really too interesting needs to happen except that I got to roll above a 14.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
All right, so that's a nat 20. Rolling a crit confirmation with a 25, so that'll hit for
Wow.
24 points of damage, which means
Oh,
12
man.
goes.
Yowzers.
Yes. Let me just check something real quick.
Do they die when they hit 0?
No, that's not what I'm checking.
I got a little excited.
He's checking your damage. He's like, I don't think you did it right.
No, I just
Maybe
wanted to
not.
make sure that undead
Filthy
were
cheater.
subject to criticals. Now I'm gonna look up incorporeals because I almost want to
I
say incorporeals
don't think
can't be crit.
incorporeals can actually.
Oh, maybe they are immune. I know
think they
that
are.
oozes are. Give me a second. I'll look it up too.
It is immune to. Oh no, never mind. That's a blah blah blah. Weapons. This makes for a great podcast if you're listening.
know
to the
it
podcast.
It's very good.
Riveting.
That's the one thing about us is we want to get the rules right, and even when we make calls in game, we'll go back and research just to make sure because, you know, rules are there for a reason. and they're
Okay. An incorporeal creature is immune to critical hits and precision-based damage, such as sneak attack, unless the attacks are made using a weapon with the ghost touch, special weapon quality. In
Correct,
addition,
yeah.
creatures with the incorporeal subtype gain the incorporeal ability. So, as cool as that was, 5 points of damage goes. Whatever.
Also,
Yes.
thanks for
Have
the
your moment.
follow, Garmic.
Who cares?
Jason, maybe this is flavor, but it says in the thing that you pasted that incorporeal cannot be grappled.
Well, I'm
Is it
saying
flavor
it because
'cause he's like
Severin
another
is
ghost?
also incorporeal.
I
so
thought
it's not like
so.
you guys are trying to grab.
But I just made this whole speech about getting the rules right, and then I read that, and I'm like, well, I have
And
to
so
bring
that-
it up.
so then I
Sarah,
felt like-
clearly it's ghost wrestling. Clearly, okay, it's
Well-
clearly Greco-Roman ghost wrestling.
Clearly, he has the ghost touch special human ability.
Hands,
His arms are ghost touch.
Ghost touch.
ghost touch hands. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a ghost, so when he touches, it's ghost touch. Clearly, it all checks out.
Just
We
his
did the
logic
math.
is flawless.
Flawless
Come
cannot
to
be
him with all of your logical and moral conundrums. He has the answers.
the answers.
Nyari.
Okay, I'm going to, with the
What are-
knowledge that I gained last round. I'm
Pick up
going
Milligan, run
to
away.
Run away.
5 foot step back,
Okay.
and I've been holding on to this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to apply an oil of magic weapon to my battle axe.
Nice.
I approve. Not that
And
it's
Aiden, you have one too.
Who does?
Aiden,
Oh. Do I?
check the inventory sheet.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a
You
good
didn't
look.
hear it from me.
It's fine. My dagger's doing alright. He's fine.
Okay, so that will be my turn.
Okay.
Move 5 foot step back and apply an oil.
Okay.
And now I gotta work on a buff.
That is Nyari's turn. Moving on to Theros and Volus.
Theros is going to move up to attack with his dagger.
Ooh, Theros is getting involved.
Oh. Okay. 15 will still hit.
That's a 15, yep. With 6 points of damage, so split that in half. A solid 3.
Yeah.
Really chipping away at this.
Chipping away.
Chip. That's all that we need. 27
And
chips.
it is its turn.
Approximately 2 serving sizes, according to Lay's. That's
I was just gonna say, is that a potato chip joke? We got them all, folks. We got all kinds of jokes here. A little bit for everybody.
I try.
Go ahead, Jason.
It's really sad when you're leaning on potato chip jokes.
It's going to retaliate against the almost
Wait.
critter.
Wait. As if there's a whole category of jokes piled under potato chip.
Oh, he's attacking you, Aiden.
That's fine. Attack me.
I mean, I hit for more damage, but that's all right.
This is a touch attack against your touch AC. That's a 16.
That'll hit.
Okay. Fun
No.
stuff. You take
2d4 negative levels.
9 points of negative energy damage.
Oh man, I don't like when you
9.
start with negative.
Negative energy. Damn it. Energy drain, you mean?
No, negative energy. It's the opposite of positive energy.
Got you. So I just take 9 points of damage.
Yes.
You feel your soul being sucked out,
And roll a will save.
My worst save.
or instantly die.
Good. I like it when you say it's your worst save.
I like it when
Hey!
the gods are on my side.
Okay.
Desmond got my
21.
back today.
21.
So you pass the save. You feel your mind get slightly like muddled and slightly like the mists are like confusing you almost, but you drive it off and you're okay.
Yeah, he made a promise.
And that promise is what focuses your mind.
I just
As we go-
flashed. Sorry, go finish your thing.
I was just gonna say, as we go to Oren's turn, you can say what you want.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. He was attacking Aiden. I was like, I'm after Aiden. When he said I made a promise, I flashed to in Lord of the Rings when Sam goes after Frodo in the boat, and he's like, I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. A promise.
A
Don't
promise.
you leave him, Samwise Gamgee.
Mr. Aiden, I made a promise.
Don't you leave him, Aiden Longstrider.
Mine for a promise, it's always don't make a girl a promise you can't keep from Halo. That's the one that
Oh,
always
that's a good one too.
comes into my mind. Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep. Oh, yikes.
What am I gonna do?
Run away.
You're not wrong. I'm getting out of here.
Yep, every week.
Um,
New drinking
every week.
category.
every week. I'm actually gonna use my guidance swing on this one
Cool, cool.
to add a +1,
Yeah,
and we're gonna try hitting him again.
okay. 13 will hit.
Ooh, man.
That's good.
Grappled apparently lowers your AC by a bit.
Yeah.
You
it's
need to
not-
thank your brother big time, Nyari.
Yeah. Your half brother.
That.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, so 4 points of damage go through. Good, good.
Sick, Severin, sick.
It looks like a good chunk of this creature has basically evaporated, and only a portion of it remains, but it is still there as we move over to Aiden.
Same old kind of situation is how I feel it in my soul. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Half damage on that. You guys, it's hilarious because you guys are rolling so bad technically. Like
Right.
the number of 13s, 14s, 15s that have happened is insane, but this is the one situation where those will actually hit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to last week when we had to hit a 22, and we
Right.
could not hit a 22.
It's so cinematic though. Like this would be the scene where her brother's like giving it all he's got to hold this spear back. We're just laying into it with everything
Yeah.
we've got. Like let it go.
Plus ultra.
And I'm
Weeb.
5 foot step back.
Okay.
Let Orin maybe get in there and get some flanking bonus.
Next up, it is Nyari.
Well, I know I don't have to do this, but
Oh,
I
boy.
have the movement, so we'll do that.
Right after I called Orin out and told him, "Hey man, you can get your flanking bonus in here." You're just
Well,
gonna steal it from him like that?
yeah, I am
So-
actually.
With her great speed, Nyari cuts in line,
It's
gets
fair.
into flanking.
You're like
Fair.
you're like an entitled mom at the grocery.
So that's actually 10 damage, but it is magical damage now, so 5 damage.
Okay. Yep.
Wait
Chipping
a-
away. It's taken a good amount of damage from all those hits so far. But
Why
it
is yours artificially programmed too higher?
Oh, hold on, wait. I didn't put the magic weapon on, so it would have been an additional damage, but I think it's... Oh no, the magic weapon is on.
So it's
What
12.
do you mean?
You rolled a 12. Why is it only 5?
I'm shaken for 6 rounds, and shaken doesn't program the damage, so I have to mentally take out the 2.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay. Theros and Volus.
She'll call out, "Sorry, Orin!"
Theros is going to take some notes from Nyari and get into flanking this way.
So you would provoke doing that because you started out in a space that
Oh,
he
yeah.
threatens.
Never
You
mind.
can
I'm just
try
gonna attack.
acrobatics.
You
Just
can
remember that's
try
always a thing.
acrobatics.
You
You can
could
try
it,
acrobatics.
because you can get there by doing one of
Yeah, why not? Let's try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll your
Oh.
acrobatics. Oh, that's your acrobatics right there. A 5. No. No one. Surprisingly, a 5 does not beat his CMG.
I take full responsibility if Theros dies here. I'm
So he will make
sorry.
he will make an attack against you. Touch attack. Oh, natural 20.
Oh, just
Theros is gonna die.
What happens?
No.
Natural 19 to confirm.
Oh my
Stop.
Alright, I
Okay.
hope you're ready to comfort Volus.
I just have to say, listening back to last session, Jason rolled 4 natural 20s.
Did I
I
really?
haven't rolled a natural 20 since we fought the Etter Cap
Yeah,
at
bro.
the Ranger Readout.
Bro,
That
you
was like
Sonia.
session 2.
So you had one bad stint of the dice in the
Wait,
first
is that a
fire.
metal die? Clearly
A metal
illegal.
die.
In Paizo rules, clearly illegal. You have to use plastic dice.
See,
No.
plastic dice are the ones that are weighted poorly. Metal dice are nice.
That
Yeah,
dice
clearly.
is weighted wrong though, because that one rolls way too many natural 20s for it to be legal.
I really do like this die. If this were the GCP, this would be neon green. But it's
That'd be-
actually
that'd-
gold and black. So,
That'd be Mr. Neon Green, buddy.
yeah, this is actually the first metal die that I ever got. I think Sarah got me this.
Killing me,
from a
Jason.
gift
What
when
happened?
our-
What happened to Theros?
Oh yeah,
You're dead. You're
it'd
dead.
be fun.
Stop!
No,
No,
Andrew,
stop!
we're trying to
I'm
distract
fighting.
him.
I'm,
We were
love where
hoping.
I'm enjoying where Theros' story is going. Don't kill him yet.
He's telling stories. He's just like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I remember when I was.
We were hoping that he would just move on
Well-
and forget to do the damage.
Just a quick point. I'm pretty sure he just pointed out and said that Sarah got him that die. So she's like
Really?
triply to blame.
Okay.
You know, overall,
Really, if that's Sarah's dice, then that should be Sarah's rolls all along all those 20s, not the
What?
NPC.
no, it was a gift from her, so
I
she
actually-
gave him that.
Dang it.
I think it was our older sister that got those for him.
Oh,
Was it? Did
I
she
think
give
it
me
was
these
April.
ones?
Yeah.
You
If
give
you're
me so
listening
many
to the
dice
podcast
sets.
or watching the stream, let us know in the comments what you think.
Was it Sarah or was it April? Who knows?
how much of this was Sarah's fault?
Probably
So,
all of it. I told him to acrobatics, so that's my fault.
I rolled my crit damage there. I didn't roll super well, but you do take 10 points of negative energy damage.
Yikes. Oh, you're...
And roll me a save.
I thought you were gonna pull one up. So I didn't roll amazing, but you're gonna take 30 points of negative energy damage. Like, man.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice. I like this a lot.
Well, if it's an enchantment spell or effect, he gets a +2.
I don't like it when Jason likes these. Go ahead.
So, you are hit by this incorporeal touch attack, and you fail the save against Touch of Insanity.
Oh no.
You are confused for 1 round.
Is this where you have to roll to see what you do?
Yes.
Oh, get ready. Buckle up, Andrew. Confused is so fun.
So, this is only for
No.
1 round, but, Andrew, basically, since this is basically the top of your turn, you have to roll a D100. And if you roll a 1 to 25, you can act normally. A 26 to 50, you do nothing but babble incoherently. 51 to 75, you deal damage to yourself. And 76 to 100, you attack the nearest creature.
Oh no.
So a 17 didn't pass either, though, too. That's good to know.
Do I do
Um,
that now or next turn?
Since you basically have your whole turn in front of you, still just it would be now. I'd say roll a D100.
It's interesting that we like
Okay.
to tie stuff back to story, but you know, he's so conflicted with his rage and things that happened before, and now he's struck with this presence
Confusion.
of mind
Yeah.
that's poor Theros.
27. You go to move, but your mind is clouded by the mists as this creature's hand basically passes through your head, and you suddenly just your eyes go wide and you start babbling incoherently as you are unable to make any conscious thought in this moment. But that is only for 1 round.
I really lucked out on my saving throw. I only have a 2 to my will. Holy cow.
So that's basically Theros' whole turn. It is now the
Yup.
creature's turn.
Amazing.
I'll roll for it this time. We've got. He's going to focus on the 2 that are not confused. He knows when he's confused someone. So,
So-
same as before. I don't think if I called it last time, but evens were Nyari, so we'll do same as before. Evens, Nyari, odds, Orin. 3 odds, Orin.
Hello.
This is going to be a melee touch attack against your touch AC.
Yes, sir.
That's not going to hit. That was a natural 5 on the die, and I don't think that's... You've got buffs and stuff, so that's not even a 10.
Still looking him in his incorporeal eyes, and I'm like, no.
He lashes out at you, but you took that potion of Shield of Faith, or whatever
Yeah.
it was, so he's not able to penetrate that shield as the mist kind of... It's like an invisible barrier that the mists kind of just go around. They don't actually touch you.
It's got
And it's-
Torag's tongs on the front. This incorporeal or not, this barrier.
And it's your turn. And
Oh.
just so you know, you can see now, Severin's form is beginning to waver somewhat. Like
Okay.
one of his arms has kind of disappeared and he's grasping on with his last hand. It looks like he can't stick around for too much longer. But it is your turn. Oh my.
Does a 22
What
hit?
a beast!
22 definitely hits.
Real quick. And
Jason's about to be like, is his stuff programmed right this time? Is he cheating? What is going
Wait.
on?
Real quick, do you still have bull's strength on?
No.
In
I
your
don't know.
character though?
I have
Like
no
your-
idea. Let's look.
Is it a buff?
I don't have any buffs added right now, but I might still have. Yeah, I did have bull strength, so. Uh-oh.
I think that's a -2.
Oh,
Yeah.
you still hit.
Yeah, so it was 2. It was only 2 off.
You
Real
hit that
though,
time.
But I
What
didn't hit
about
the
all
time
the other
before.
times you rolled just enough?
Yeah.
Let me look
The
back. Hang on.
13 probably.
The 13 would be the
11.
yeah, it'd be it would have been a 12, not a 13. It would have been a 12 because I had guidance on that.
Well, I guess Orin's just gonna have to take 37 damage as punishment.
That's fair.
Take
That
one
is
negative
fair.
level.
Holy
Well,
crap!
That's fair.
real quick,
But yeah,
Jake.
no, I'm not gonna bother retconning any of that.
Well, it would
but,
only been 4 points of damage, so if you want to give him back 4 points, that's fine. 'cause
sure.
I
He
would have
takes
missed
6
that one.
this time. So I'll just do 2 this time.
Just
then.
do 2
We'll
this time, and that works it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, real quick though, Theros was hit with an attack of opportunity that caused him to go confused, right?
Yes.
But technically, he should still have had his movement, if I'm not mistaken, though, right? So he'd be up here, technically.
No, he gets hit before the movement happens.
Okay.
Because otherwise, you'd move out of range and they'd somehow hit you from 10 feet away.
Right.
Like,
and so then-
if you go to move, if you turn to move, is when they hit you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that is Orin's turn. Top of round 6. We have Aiden.
That wouldn't be good. No. I could double move to get there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do that instead, I think. And then go with the dagger. So I'll move down around Orin, come back in that spot, and go with the dagger.
Okay.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Hopefully try to get a good hit in here.
It'll
Holy
hit.
max damage, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Come on.
You slice out at this thing, and after your attack goes through, it is nothing more than a wisp. It's still there, but its form is nearly demolished with the damage that you guys have been dealing out.
Awesome.
Oh boy.
And it's going to be a while before his turn comes around if he makes it. Nyari, you're up. Can
Then
you
it's
put an
okay.
end to this thing?
I don't know.
I think so.
I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
Say it later.
Oh my word.
Ooh.
That hits.
Yeah, assuming everything's programmed correctly, a 13 hits.
So I was about to say, I have I guess essentially a plus 10, a plus 12 minus the 2 from Shaken. I was like, I have a plus 12 to hit. I only have to roll like a natural 1 or 2.
Oh, you almost did it. It was
Yeah, it was
Please
not
say that's
good.
the
So
final hit. Nyari needs to get the last hit on this thing.
It's actually 13 and then half of 13, however you round up or down.
doesn't matter what the half is. As you slash out at this creature, it evaporates.
Yes!
And as it does, this creature just once again moans out in agony and despair, but it is cut short by your blade. Your now magical great axe or battle axe? Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it, I'll just get here, disappears, leaving the now prone Illica on the ground and the half disappeared form of Severin behind.
Nice.
I loot Illica while she's down.
Okay. Yep.
As is standard procedure for heroes.
For a hero.
So before Severin goes completely, Nyari's going to... Okay, it's a 5-foot square, so she's not standing on Illica. Let's just be clear about that. But she's going to get to a point somewhere where she can be near him, and she'll put her hand up, similar, not with fingerless gloves. She'll put her hand up, similar to what happened with her and her mom in her dream, and she'll say, going to be okay, Severin. And before you know it, we'll be there with you too.
Sister, and he puts his hand up next to yours. He says, I have been watching you for quite some time. I thought that I was the reckless one, but you have proven me very wrong. Sister, take care of yourself. You have been in quite a bit of danger, and to be honest, you've made the afterlife quite stressful for me. I do miss you, but I don't think we should be reunited quite this early. And then he looks down to Ilika, and you can see like a little bit of like sadness in his eyes. He says, when she awakens, tell her that I miss her as well. And someday we will see each other again. But do not feel that you have to come so quickly.
As he parts, Aiden will kind of say, we won't let her come quickly. And kind of nods as the ghost fades, I imagine.
Yep.
Nyari takes her battle axe and slits her throat right now.
Jesus, that escalated so fast.
Just kidding.
Oh man, I had
yeah.
to turn the tunes up though too, actually.
Severin turns to acknowledge you, Aiden, and as his form turns to mist, you can see the faintest hint of a smile as he disappears. And you are left on this mound in silence. Is the middle of the night. What are you guys going to do? Ilika is still unconscious on the ground currently.
She's not dead, is she?
No, she's breathing, but it looks like she's just unconscious, either from the strain of the ritual or the strain of this creature being expelled from her forcibly. It's you're not entirely sure, but she is breathing. She is not dead or dying or anything like that.
Well, should we make camp here or should we move closer to the forest? Don't all speak at once.
Sorry, my sister messaged me. I had to. She takes a little bit of priority sometimes.
I don't know how you feel sleeping on the graves of the dead.
I don't love the idea of sleeping in a graveyard.
How late is it? It's late.
Yeah, at this point it's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Does the confusion wear off Theros, or is that like an effect that lasts for a while?
Yeah, that was a 1 round thing.
Oh, okay.
Just a 1 round thing. If you got, so I can tell you some of the things you could do. So Cry of Despair is what he did at the start. It was the will save for 2d6 rounds or 1 if you succeed. None of you did this, but he had another ability, Madness. Anyone targeting him with a thought detection, mind control, or telepathic effect makes direct contact with his tortured mind and takes 1d4 points of wisdom damage, but none of you did that. Touch of Insanity, anytime you got hit by his incorporeal touch, you had to make a save or be confused for 1 round. And then I already mentioned the unnatural aura that prevents animals from getting close.
What was the DC on the touch? I was curious about that. 18 then, or
the DC of the touch, or the touch attack was
for the save against the touch of madness or insanity.
He failed it by 1.
Oh, so it was 18.
Yeah, he got close, but he failed it by 1.
Right, I figured it must.
You rolled like a 20 something, so you.
Yeah, well, I couldn't believe it because I was somewhat familiar with it, and I thought like when you said do that, I was like, well, Aiden's out of the combat, and then I just pulled it out with a high roll. Luckily.
Yeah, no, I was expecting you to fail and him to pass, but that's not how the dice worked.
Theros would respond to Nyari. I too would prefer to find somewhere else to rest.
He'll look at Nyari and say, did we do it then? Is Ilika? And he looks because she's unconscious. Do you think she is better?
I don't know. But Seeing my brother again, I have to believe that it worked. And if it didn't, then I will keep looking for a way to make her better.
And we will look with you. I think it is right to go to the forest. That is what I say.
We definitely can't get back to that other group, right?
No way.
I would let you travel through the night, but you'd be fatigued for the next day, which might not be a concern if you plan on just going straight back to the caves. It's up to you.
Just as
But it
like,
would-
let's
you-
go to the
you
goblin.
basically-
I was gonna say, let's go to the Goblin Village, guys. Like, we're on a roll, man. We're killing it. Let's go.
No.
You
I mean,
basically get to them by the morning.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the things that Jason had said we could hand wave. Since we're this close, I don't know if we would want to check that out. I don't know if Jason was going to have us fully do anything there, if we would just... I don't know.
That's up to you guys. Do your characters have a reason to go over there, do you think?
Mary doesn't.
There is some merit to maybe just staying here for the night. I mean, yeah, we're in the middle of the plains and we're visible, but that also means that we can look out the whole way, and we're
Sure,
at a
makes it harder for
shrine.
anything else to sneak up.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So it's not entirely indefensible to be here. We could just keep the lights low, basically. What's the
Yeah.
temperature like, Jace?
What was that?
What's the temperature like?
It's not too bad. It's a little chilly, but it's bearable.
So with warm winter gear, we can make it without a night
Yeah.
without a fire.
Yeah, if you've got like cold weather stuff, then you're fine.
Because that would be what I didn't suggest. Like maybe we just stay here actually instead of what he said earlier, and like, you know, just wait out the night, take a rest. I mean, yeah, it's not great to rest by a grave, but you know, maybe we can go in a little bit that way, get some distance between it and us, but still be in the plains. But I'm okay with whatever. Like I don't feel strongly.
No. For those listening to the podcast, Jason says a massive hurricane just stormed through and we all died. That's not happening.
How about not?
I'll take
How
it.
about not?
But I mean, it's also true we could push through a night of no sleep probably fine. Like fatigue's not going to kill you. But
It'd be good to
I'd
have
rather
our
not.
spells. I'd rather, just rest, get some spells back.
Yeah, I think of all of us, the condition that we're in, we're all down hit points. We just went through 2 pretty tough battles. I'm thinking Nayari, she is probably exhausted just from everything that happened, plus all the walking we had to do to even get here earlier in the day. So we also have to think of Rena, who's probably not used to all this marching around. And
Yeah.
so I would say, my vote is that we just kind of go
I vote
a
we
little
rest.
distance off and
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah. We'll move like a hex in and sleep.
Okay. So you move a little bit away from the shrine, and you set up a small camp, and the night passes, and as the morning comes, you all regain a night's worth of hit points, so that's your level plus your con.
We're level 4, right?
Yes. So 4
And-
plus your constitution modifier. So for most of you, probably like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Oren gets more because he's super hardy.
7.
I get 7 too.
As you wake up in the morning, Aiden is up early again, and he's kind of got like his longbow and his greatsword and his dagger, and he's kind of just like quickly sheathing and switching weapons, like just over and over and over and over as quick as he can, just trying to get it faster and faster to switch between them. So he's practicing that.
Okay.
Theros has brewed tea, but uncharacteristically, as he's holding his cup, he's not drinking any of it. He's just staring into it, just thinking. And, Volus tries to get his attention, but he just kind of ignores Volus, and Volus kind of sadly lumbers away towards Nayari to try to get attention from somebody else.
Yeah.
She's sitting there, sharpening her axe. She'll just scratch Volus behind the ear.
And as you're doing that, you're probably next to to Ilika, I imagine,
Mhm.
or close by. You hear her begin to stir awake as she kind of gets up and she sits up, and you see her rubbing her eyes and her brow is furrowed as she kind of looks around and looks over at you, and she says, Nayari, where are we? Who are these people? What I I had the strangest dream. What is going on?
Nairi just smiles, and then she grabs Ilika and just starts sobbing, and just holds her and sobs. And it's like the anime crying, not the anime crying where they're like
Yeah.
really loud about it, but it's like
Gross.
coming out of her eyes and her
Yeah,
nose,
her
and it's just
nose.
like blubbering mess, and she's just sobbing, and she can't even say a word.
And as you're doing that, the rest of you can see Ilika's face as she's looking around, and she's like taken aback by this, and she sees like Volus, like a bear, like right next to her. She sees all these people she doesn't know. Her eyes are wide with confusion, and she like her arms are kind of like out, and like slowly she kind of pats Nayari on the back. She says, Nayari, what is going on? Are you okay? What is this?
It probably takes Nairi a little bit just to get composed again. And if she's anything like me, she's not a pretty crier. It's probably pretty ugly. But eventually she'll get to the point where she just kind of like wipes her face, and she'll look at Ilika and say, it has been 2 years, 3 years. I don't even remember the time anymore. You've been gone for so long.
Well, what are you talking about? 2 years? I don't know what you're talking about. We've been traveling together for a while now. And I don't know what you mean. She's looking around and she says, where's Severin?
He's gone, Ilika.
What do you mean? Where did he go?
What's the last thing that you remember?
She kind of thinks for a moment and then furrows her brow because she's suddenly realizing that it's very difficult for her to recall. She says, I don't know. Why? Very confused. We were traveling south. We were going to spend the night near one of the forts, I believe. It was in Nermathus. It gets very foggy after that. Why?
We had gone through the fort, and we had gotten supplies at the fort, and we made our way outside and decided to make camp for the night. And it's all kind of a blur even for me now, but something happened at the fort. They were attacked, and they spread out from the fort, just destroying everything in their path. We had no time, and we tried to run, and I just remembered turning around, and Severin was not with us. And he stayed behind, Ilika, so that we would get out. But they got to us anyway, and we barely survived. And from that point on, you were gone. It was like you weren't there. I would talk to you, and you wouldn't speak, and your eyes were blank.
And as you're explaining all of this, you can see that her eyes are going wider and wider, and eventually, like, she's starting to shake her head back and forth a little bit, and she's like, "No, no, that's not possible. No." And she's very confused, and it's like she's getting up to her feet and like backing away, and you can see that it's kind of like she's visibly having a panic attack or something like that as you're describing this, and it's like all of the memories are just hitting all at once, and her emotions are starting to fly out of control. And as soon as they get to a point where it's like she's gonna faint or something, collapse, you see the symbol of Desna around her neck just faintly glows a little bit, and you can hear a very, very slight whisper. You can't make out what it says, but it sounds like Severin's voice. Just a faint whisper. And as that whisper kind of calms, you see that she takes several deep breaths as she's slowly composing herself. And you can see that there are tears in her eyes, and she looks at you with, you can tell now, full remembrance of what happened. And she just looks at you, her head shaking. She says, "Nayari, I'm so sorry." And she rushes to you, and now this time she's the one who embraces you. She says, "I'm so sorry that I left you. I'm so sorry." And she begins sobbing into your shoulder now.
I saw him, Ilika. He says he misses you. But he's not ready for us to come yet. So we'll just have to wait for a while.
And she continues sobbing. And probably a minute passes before the emotion begins to slowly calm back down for everyone. But the three of you, Orin, Theros, Aiden, you're just watching this. Do you guys do anything while you see this, or?
The way I picture it, Aiden is still like a step and a half away from everyone else had been setting up camp, and Theros had probably started a fire in the morning to make some tea, and he's just, still practicing. Maybe he stopped to listen and like took a moment to hear what they were saying, kind of thing. But he's in his own head at the moment.
Theros had stopped looking down at his tea, like it finally kind of broke his train of thought, and so he was still sitting there, captivated by what was happening, but he doesn't say anything.
Well, Orin being the emotionally, respondent one of the group. No, he just listens and is smiling. He's happy.
Yeah, it's not a point where it's not a situation you say something,
Yeah, I'm just happy that it succeeded.
Okay. And so the morning comes, and you're all able to get yourselves ready to travel. I'm sure that you probably do some quick filling in for Ilika so that she's aware of where you're going and where you are, and just to make sure that all of her introductions between yourselves, once this moment passes and you guys feel more comfortable interjecting yourselves. And when you're doing all of this, it does seem like she has the faintest of recollections. She probably would put it as though everything that's happened to her during that whole span of time feels like a dream. And she kind of remembers it kind of like a dream, like details. It's not like a very good account of events, but she does have the gist of what's going on. You just need to maybe fill her in on some specific details, which doesn't take too much time. And you could do that while you're moving towards the woods, but you guys have the day ahead of you. What are you doing?
Probably want to can reconnect with the survivors at the Rangers Redoubt, wherever that was. Is that here?
I think
Yep.
that was, yeah, in that little patch.
Yeah.
Can we, like, so we can't see down here from where we're at?
No, I have it so that you can see 2 whole hexes away, which would be like 2 miles
Oh,
in any direction.
okay.
You can't see further.
Not with enough detail that I would reveal it on the map, no.
Yeah, no, you're good. I didn't want to kind of exchange like at the end of their meeting, and if Ilika explains like what it's like, kind of thing, or her perception, some platitude along that lines of like, well, it is nice to be meeting you again then. And I hope that we get along. And like kind of acknowledging that obviously we've met in the past, but it feels like not really, sort of situation.
Okay.
And yeah, we can continue. I'm with Andrew. I think we go right to the readout.
The Redoubt.
The readout.
Oh, I never got back my stuff. So I got HP, but I need to get back my stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can make it back to the Ranger Redoubt with no problem. Being on the plains, even if there were any threats, you could see them so far off that you'd be able to navigate your way around them easily.
So it's 5 to there. Is that not mistaken?
Yes, it is 5 hexes to get to the Ranger Redoubt.
The
And,
hobgoblins northeast.
And you get there, and all of the survivors are still there. They are alive, still malnourished, still diseased, still wounded, and all that stuff. But they're all still alive. They made it through the night without you.
So it'd be 11 to get back, I think, if I count it, like 11 or 12 somewhere.
Yes, and I would say you'd probably have to move at slightly slower speeds with this many wounded peepsouls.
Right. So let's say we normally have 20, right? Movement.
Yeah, so normally you'd have 20, which it took 5 to get there.
We just take 16 total for the day and get back, or what are you thinking?
I mean, so if you have 15 squares, if you have 15 hexes left, I'd probably say that it would take you probably half movement, because you know that the one person there is like unconscious and being wheeled in a cart, so you can't move super fast. So you'd probably be moving.
So probably, would
Go
we
here.
check on her to see how she's doing? Is she just unconscious, or is she dead?
So you can check on her, and the one Foxclaw Scout guy that talked to you before, he could show you over to her, and she is alive. She is breathing but unconscious, and he will explain. He says she's had a fever ever since the fight with the hobgoblin. She took some heavy injuries, and as you guys are looking at her, a couple things. One, Nyari, you're looking at this creature. That was rude. You're looking at this wounded woman, and you can notice that she is an elf. You also notice that she is the same elf that you saw from your visions. The one that had approached Severin's corpse in the second vision, I believe, that looked familiar.
One that looked familiar?
Yeah, looked familiar to you, but you had never seen her before, but something about it was familiar. And you would be able to see pretty obviously that she's taken a lot of wounds. She has a very severe cut to her abdomen, several gashes on her legs, her left ear is missing, and as well as 2 of her fingers on her right hand. The fingers would be the pinky and the ring finger, the 2 on that side.
So clearly she's in tip-top shape.
Yeah. And
At
she's
least-
definitely sweating. She has a fever. She's unconscious and all that. Theros, if you go over and are also looking at this injured person, you would immediately recognize her.
Told you. It's his
And as this other Foxclaw scout is explaining, he's like, she is our squad leader, or I guess she was our squad leader when we still had a squad. And as soon as he's beginning to explain this, you recognize her almost immediately as your mother.
I know who she is.
So do I. Who is she? I saw her in one of my visions.
How is that possible? She's my mother.
I don't. What? She was on the battlefield. She was there with Severin's body after he was killed at Ramgate.
That doesn't surprise me. She never would back away from a fight, foolish woman.
What does this mean? Why did I have a vision about her?
I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. And Theros is gonna walk away.
Theros, I don't understand. Why would you not be happy to see your own mother?
He doesn't say anything, he just walks out of the camp.
He takes
Well-
for granted what can be taken away too easily.
I must say I was not expecting that response. But clearly there's some sort of history between them, and as someone who has one parent that, let's just say they weren't very parent-like, I can sympathize with him in that regard. It's probably best just to not bring it up again, and if he wants to tell us more, then he will, in the right time.
Since Theros isn't one to talk much, I'll, if I may, I can explain a little bit what he does and what's kind of going on in his head.
You don't have to, but yeah, if you want to.
I have a little bit of something prepared in case something like that were to happen, so it's brief, but as he
No, you're
walks
good.
out of the camp, his grandfather's voice echoes in his mind, the reverberations painting a picture of a memory from his studies in Crystalhurst. Balance, his grandfather's voice repeats. Theros takes a step forward. His eyes are still closed as he stands there at the edge of the camp. You must be a creature of balance. His grandfather's voice echoes again. Your life depends on it. If you cannot overcome this childish grudge, you will find yourself strangled by the very power you wield. And he just sits down and looks at the cabin where his mother is laying injured and thinks over the past, and that's it.
Okay. And yeah, as this is all going on, the one Foxclaw scout guy is just standing there, and it's just okay. I
Awkward.
don't know what that was, but I guess I don't need to continue the introductions. And then he just kind of slowly backs away. 'Cause he's not sure what to do anymore.
Well, I think our priority now is getting you all to the caves where the rest of our group is. And maybe once we're there, we can all talk things over in greater detail. But for right now, we need to keep her alive, keep the rest of you alive, and get everyone to safety. We're not out of the woods yet. No pun intended.
He doesn't laugh. But yeah, so you guys can start moving back towards the caves, and I'd say you would have to camp on the way, but
You can just stay at the
I'm just
hunting
gonna-
lodge.
yeah, you could just go to the cabin and then make your way over there. I'm gonna kind of gloss over the travel that happens unless there's something specific you want to do during that time, but if not, it would just be one more night in the woods before you make it back to the caves the next day.
Aiden was going to converse with Ulrich for a bit, but Theros' reaction to his mother has gotten to him, so he's going to remain pissy.
Okay.
Oh no. Well,
Sounds like
in that case, Ulrich will approach Aiden.
Oh no, now I gotta roleplay it out.
I want Ulrich to be like that little brother that's like infatuated with you and just like follows you around and wants to be just like you.
Give me 1 second. Okay.
Changing the tone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You know, can't just have like all this sad, mopey music playing. So Ulrich will approach Aiden. Oh, was it Sir Aiden? You're back. You promised me to tell me stories of your adventures as soon as you returned. Tell me what happened at the shrine. Did you end up rescuing that Kellid woman? Oh, where is your beautiful friend, by the way? Is your friend also beautiful? I didn't get a good look at her before. Where's that dwarf? He was a strong-looking fellow. I'm sure he's got a lot of tales. I've never met many dwarves before.
Ulrich!
Some of them have. Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just so excited. You're here.
You will forgive me, Ulrich. I am not in the mood for stories. Maybe another time.
Oh. Well, perhaps you would like a story to lift your spirits?
Go ahead. Tell your story.
Oh, well, what kind of tale would you like me to weave? I could tell you a romance. I could tell you an epic tale of heroes. Those are my favorite. Maybe perhaps a history lesson.
Dealer's choice.
Oh, all right. You know, being about here's been a bit lonely, so I'll share with you one of my favorite romances. Many years ago, there were two dwarves, madly in love, but their families would not let them be together. After all, one served the mighty Torag, and the other, well, let's say she worshipped a deity much less inclined to be followed by those of us with a propensity for the good side of nature. Anyway.
I have to interrupt, Ulrich. Have you heard of Kining?
No, I'm sorry, I don't know that name.
Oh, go on with your tale. I might know someone who this situation applies to.
Really? Well, they do say life imitates art. Anyway, these two dwarves would meet secretly every night, and they would, as part of their tradition, cast blessings from each other's deities on each other. This angered their gods, though, and it caused quite a stir. Eventually, it led to a bloody feud between the two families, and the two dwarves, not wanting to risk any more bloodshed, decided to spend their time apart once more. But again, unbeknownst to their families, they delved deep into the Darklands, fighting together to survive, their love growing deeper each day, until finally they found a place in the upper grounds again, where they could spend the rest of their lives together without any interference from their families. It's a beautiful story. I would much like to meet whoever it is you know who this could inspire. I do love seeing this come to life.
He's kind of just like quiet for an awkward amount of time after the story's finished.
Wait, are you saying is that dwarf who's with you? Does he fancy someone?
I do not have any part in his... Well, I do not know. You will have to ask him yourself.
Oh, I shall. I think I shall. Where was your elf friend?
What elf friend do you mean?
There's another companion with you earlier. He didn't speak much. Very quiet fellow.
Ah, Theros. Yes, why don't you talk to him?
I don't know. He didn't seem like a very interesting person. Very quiet. It's not usually the kind of people I spend time with. But I'm curious. He had a bear with him.
So Theros is actually, I don't know, it's a bit of a sore subject for Ida at the moment. So I'd be like, what is it you want to know about Theros? There is not much to know. He is a druid of the Fangwood.
Ah, that explains the bear companion. Alright, that's mostly what I was curious about. But I suppose I could seek him out for myself if I have any more information. I don't want to pry into any business you two may have with each other. I apologize.
No, I am not in the best of moods over it. You will forgive me. I will hear more of your stories, and I will tell you a tale. But over it, mine are not happy. And he'll kind of like put some distance between them as he paces faster as they're walking.
Very well then. It was a pleasure to meet you, Aiden. As you walk away.
And he just kind of like does one of them. Yep, sure. As they're walking through the forest. That was amazing.
I mean, it's a bit of a tired joke, but yeah.
No, the part that had me dead was like, they would cast blessings from each other's deities.
Yeah, they would 100% lose favor with their deity.
Right?
I didn't want there was half of mine where I didn't want it to be Aiden, like, you want to know a story? My mother and my sister are dead. But I figured that'd be a little too much.
And eventually, as you guys are traveling through the forest having these conversations, you return to the caves. And you see some things.
Where's
Mostly that
Jin?
everyone's dead. First
No,
of all.
Oh, there's Jin.
no, not everyone is dead. But as you approach the entrance to the caves, you can see that there are a couple of trees that have been felled. Looks like somebody cut down a couple trees, and it's almost like they were starting to I'm not sure of all the technical terms, but they were cutting them, fashioning them into certain like poles and such, and there's almost like the start of a fence being built. And they were like scraping away to get them flat and whatnot with the tools that they got from Navi. And this fence is just barely started. But you also notice that there are 3 goblin bodies and 1 hobgoblin body in front of the cave, and they're dead.
Ooh.
And standing just outside of the vines are Lirosa and Tydell, like bows at the ready and all that. And as you guys begin to approach, they kind of draw their weapons and whatnot, but as soon as they see you, they calm down and kind of each take a breath, and they're looking at you. And Tydell says, "It's good to see you again. I didn't know if you were gonna get back anytime soon, but it's good to see you. I'm glad you're safe."
It is good to see you, Tydell.
He nods.
And how big is the palisade that they've made so far? It's just been started.
It's like 5 feet of a fence. They've like barely got started. It looks like they've only had a little bit of time while you guys were gone.
Yeah, I don't think I knows anything to say.
Well, we brought some company. We were able to find survivors in the southern Fangwood. People who must be by Desna's luck were able to survive for this long on their own, but they're not well. We need to get them inside and somewhere safe.
Of course.
It looks like you had your own excitement here. What happened?
Yes, yesterday we were, La Rosa and I were just coming back from a hunting trip. We had just gone out to get some food and whatnot. I know we don't necessarily need to, but it's always nice to have a little bit of meat on hand. So we were actually just coming back from our hunting trip, and Li Feng was out here working on some of the trees. He got this idea in his head that he could set up some kind of fence defense or something like that. I don't know what his plans are. He's the one that was working on it. And as soon as we got back, we actually got attacked by, you can see there's a couple goblins here and a hobgoblin. Not sure exactly what they thought they were doing, but as soon as they saw the three of us out here, they just attacked on sight. And luckily, the three of us were able to actually fight them off. We had our weapons at hand, luckily, and Li Feng had a hand axe that he was using to chop down the trees, so we weren't totally unarmed, so we fended off those attackers. And I think these four were the only ones. I don't think any of them got away. We actually tracked them out a little bit to see where they came from. It looks like they didn't come here intentionally, I don't think. It looks like they were heading somewhere north and made an abrupt turn. I think maybe they heard the woodworking or something like that. I don't know if they heard the screaming from the mushrooms as somebody went back and forth from the entrance. I'm not sure, but it looks like they made a sharp turn to this direction. I don't think they were coming here intentionally, though.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to defend yourselves. Was anyone hurt?
No, I mean, nothing serious. We were able to hold our own pretty well, actually. Surprisingly well, to be honest, but it wasn't too bad. Just one of the hobgoblin was the only real threat. The goblins weren't that big of a deal, but we managed. Actually, near the tail end, that weird crystal thing showed up as well and finished off the last one, but nobody... Li Feng, he's fine, we're fine. Nothing to worry about in that regard.
Good. We probably should burn these bodies so they don't cause disease for anyone at the camp.
Yeah, we can get to that. It only happened like yesterday, so we haven't really done much. Auburn said to hold off on doing any more of the woodwork, so Li Feng's not been continuing his work on this fence so far. We've just been kind of standing guard here for a while.
Well, the good news is I don't know if there's anything that we are going to have to go out and do in the Fangwood anytime soon. We'll have to have some discussions to see what we're going to do now, but... Well, I think we might be here for a few days and we might be able to help fortify this place and make it more secure against any attacks, should we need to go out again.
Tydell nods. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I don't think they're going to find us too easily. I assume they know where we are. I don't know. But, I mean, as long as we're careful, they probably won't have an easy time finding us, so... Yeah, a couple days here would be nice. It's actually a lot better here than it was in the cabin. It's a lot more spacious. People are actually taking a liking to it a lot more.
You haven't by any chance seen anything to do with Gashmaw, have you?
Not while we've been here, no. The only members of our group that have gone outside of the cave really are La Rosa and me. We were hunting every now and then, but we don't go too far. And Li Feng comes just to the entrance when he was working on the fence, but not any further. He didn't go into the forest at all. Everybody else pretty much stays inside.
Good. Well, that's good to know. We're going to go take these guests inside and introduce them to everyone else and get them acquainted with this place. I think we're going to be permanently taking them on into our group until we can figure out where we go from here. So your work is appreciated. Keep doing what you're doing. She'll just kind of walk away.
Okay.
Keep up the good work, champ.
High five.
We just killed 16 undead and 6 hobgoblins. You guys are doing swell.
This is where my
Good-
low
good
charisma
scrub.
comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so, go ahead, Andrew.
I was just gonna say, at that moment when none of our characters are charismatic leaders, Josh is like, Elwood.
I always forget Nairi's charisma isn't actually that bad, but my charisma is not very good. So after a certain point, when you're role playing, you just kind of hit a wall, and you're like, "Well,
What's
talk to you
Nairi's?
later."
Yeah. So yeah, you guys finish your debriefing with these two, and they let you guys go by, and you open up the vines, and immediately there's a loud shrieking scream from the mushrooms, which
Well-
probably scares half of the people with you nearly to death.
Real
That's right.
quick.
Yeah, don't be
I-
alarmed.
Aiden's been muted, so he didn't get to chime in, but he just wanted to say that he was glad that nobody got hurt.
So,
And as soon as you go in and that scream starts, you can hear somebody deeper into somebody deeper into the caves goes, "Oh, for the love of Desna."
I hate it too, and I do it.
so
Maybe
I
this
did have a
sounds
question, Jason.
Yes.
So from Navi, I think I had told you I want to practice some crafting for armor.
Yes.
So I had looked up how to make like a masterwork item and then how to make like a +1 item. And I need raw materials. Could I purchase those raw materials from Navi?
Yeah, you could have gotten raw materials from her when she was selling you things. To
You
make
also
a
need a fee.
+1
Yeah,
item, you need a specific crafting feat.
there's a
I
couple
believe.
that you can get. Yeah, there's craft magical arms and armor. There's craft magical weapons, and then there's also you can take what's called a feat called Master Craftsman, which
Oh.
allows you to craft magical items if you didn't have spell levels. But you do have a caster level, so you don't have to worry about that third one. But you will need one of those other two, whichever route you decide to go. You'll need that
Okay.
feat.
So just so you know, the feat is craft magic arms and armor. You can
Yeah.
create magic armor, shields, weapons. The prerequisite is caster level 5th. So next level, your 5th level feat could be craft arms and armor if you wanted to go that route.
Or craft magical weapons. Those are your two choices, basically.
No, craft arms and armor is armor and
Oh,
weapons.
arms and armor. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
you're
I
right.
mean, for right now, I was just gonna look to do the masterwork. I wasn't looking to do the
Yep.
the +1 because I
Yeah,
figured
you
the
can
+1
do
was more
masterwork.
complicated.
Yeah, masterwork you could do now, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you took that feat, you could do magical. And
That's cool.
functionally, it's for every 1,000 gold. For the price of that, it would take
Yeah.
you a day. It would take some time, but you technically would get things cheaper than if
Half
you were
price.
to buy them. So
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, that's just something to keep in mind as you go through. Masterwork is fine, but if you want to make +1 stuff, then you can take the feat and you can do that.
Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, raw materials you can buy from Navi. We can handle that as necessary.
I was just saying earlier though too when Sarah was talking about the different charisma scores. That's why I take some peace and comfort when I role play a low charisma character, so that when I flub, it's like, oh no, I'm just role playing Aiden. He's just an awkward guy. Like that's not on me. And that's always a fallback I got.
Yeah. So yeah, you bring everybody into the caves here, and I think I looked up the numbers, and with all of them, you have a total of like 39 people, not including yourselves.
We're building an army.
I was gonna say, sounds like an army to me.
an army of malnourished, diseased,
Time to
injured people.
take back Phaendar.
They're getting better, man.
So that's a point. So we do have an anti-plague. So should I just remove that from the inventory and say we gave it to one of them to help?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
flavor
if
full.
you want to use any of your healing items to help them, you can. The arena would tell you that she would explain, with this many people having disease, you don't have enough people to like truly counteract the disease, because you'd have to have like
Mhm.
13 cure diseases or 13 all this stuff. Like, you can definitely help them, but it is going to take time. It's not
Yeah.
going to be a quick thing, even if you use anti-plague, even if you use restoration spells to keep their con from going too low down. most of your spell casting would be stopping it from getting worse, more so than anything else.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we only really need to worry about Frampton and Ulrit, so.
Yeah,
they're the
we
worst
only-
Basically, them
We
being,
don't need to worry about Ulrich.
let's just say that the two of them are mostly
Let him
injured
die.
and sick for the sake of the story because, they can't be involved with the rest of the party yet.
Yeah, they've actually got double disease because they were the ones fighting. So they've got tetanus. I'll just let you know. You can identify it. Tetanus and filth fever. And they're injured. And they're malnourished from lack of provision points.
And they are conveniently uninvolved in the plot until we need them.
They are going to be recovering
Plot sickness.
until the story decides otherwise.
So here's a fun thing. So if Ulrit has tetanus, there's a 50% chance that his jaw is stiffened to the point where he
Yep.
cannot speak for 24 hours.
I'm actually
You
going to
wouldn't.
play that. So
One can only hope.
any future role play with him, if I remember it, I'm gonna have you roll 50% to see if you
Oh,
can
that's
speak.
so mean.
I'm gonna need him to go ahead and roll that for the story he told earlier.
Can't retcon that now, baby. It's
No,
happened.
retconning it. Roll it. It never happened.
All right,
Can't
Disney,
retcon
calm
that now,
down.
baby.
Calm
I'm
down,
a
Disney.
criminal. No
That's
one
just
can touch me.
I'll
it's
do
like
it
the
for
worst
today.
disease for him.
Okay, so you can't speak today a little bit.
Yes, never happened.
No, the story happened before
No.
today. I thought it was yesterday that it happened. But
Nope, it was early this morning.
I thought it was on the way to the camp.
You're correct. It was on the way to the first camp, actually.
On the way to the cabin.
All that talking he did on the journey to the camp really tightened up his jaw for the next
Yeah.
day, and he
Yeah,
wakes
telling
up and
stories
he's
is making it worse.
Yeah. That's
He
why
just
he never
hums.
recovers.
He
That's
hums
why
never.
it takes him so long to recover. He can't stop himself from talking. It's like
Anyways,
fun.
yeah. So you guys all make it back to the caves. What are you all doing?
well, go ahead, Sarah.
No, go ahead.
I don't think. I mean, I don't have anything to do. I don't think. Like, I think Aiden's next thought is tying up loose ends. Like when he heard Gashma, like he would have like had a reaction to that. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta go kill Gashma.
Oh yeah,
Gotta go take care of that magical beast cat thing.
that old bean.
Whatever. So I think that mostly on his mind is just tying up loose ends, searching all the other places that we had intel about, and salvaging anything. And then without a plot hook, I know what Aiden's gonna do, but it would be interesting. So
we'll say, so you guys making it back today, you're setting all of these injured people probably in the this room here with all of the what used to be the bedding. And as you guys are walking around, you can see that they've started to tidy up the place pretty well. They're using the water at their disposal to kind of clean up some of the less desirable stains of blood and stuff that had been in most of these caves. They scraped away most of the muck and scum from that pool, so that's a lot cleaner now. Jin has kind of set up a makeshift alchemist area in one of the caverns, and Jet set up all the provisions in another one, and they're starting to make the place a bit more of a home. And were you gonna say something, Josh? I thought your hand
yeah,
went.
it did. I might actually, unless she approaches us first, I might talk to Auburn at some point.
Okay.
So just let the scenes play out, and then if nothing happens for a while,
Yep.
I'll talk to her.
Well, actually, as the day progresses, probably once evening starts to come around, Auburn would actually, so everybody would gather in that main chamber there, and Auburn would actually approach you guys, and she would kind of look to you, and this is kind of a turning point in the AP. It says that it can go in not a turning point, a fork in the story. It can go
Crossroads.
Oh,
one
boy.
of two ways, depending on how you guys have handled things up to this point.
Oh, I'm very excited about this.
Uh-oh.
So, looking back at all that has happened out here in the Fangwood, how do you think you guys have done? Do you think that you've done a fairly good job or a fairly poor job? Like, have
Good.
things gone well, or have they gone poorly?
Slightly above average, but not great. I'm really concerned about that bridge. I think that if we had blown up that bridge, we would have been in a much better position for like several days. They wouldn't have been able to bother us. We might have been able to save Gristledown, I wonder.
I think we've done bad.
Yeah.
I'm not optimistic.
I go with Josh. I think we did slightly better than average. I don't think we could have really done much better, other than the bridge, right? If we blew the bridge, that would have been a huge factor. But
I honestly think that if we had blown the bridge, I think that there is a chance that you get to Gristledown fast enough. I think that's probably in there. And then that is an insane number of survivors.
I think we've done about average.
Okay. So, according to the criteria that the book gives, there was never a day when someone had to do half provisions or no provisions. You managed to just barely, most of the time, but just barely have everybody have full provision points every single day. You managed to find shelter from the storm, so nobody was out in the wild when the storm hit. For the most part, the majority of people have survived. You managed to get rid of that illness without it spreading to a whole bunch of different people. And the big ones are, you managed to take the caves, so you have a permanent shelter. You brought back all of these survivors. Ilika's doing well.
That's in the book?
No, Ilika's doing well.
Whoa.
What?
That's
Cannon.
amazing.
I'm just adding in all that other stuff, but basically, the attitude of the group is looking up. You've definitely had some hard times. It's definitely not like everything has gone our way, but a lot of things have, and the big things kind of have. You have shelter, you have food, all of that. They're feeling safer. So as Auburn approaches you, she kind of comes up to you, and you see that she's smiling, and she says, we haven't had meh. Ooh, trying to get into voice. I've gone through so many voices.
I know.
Auburn, are you okay? Are you having a stroke?
I'm not gonna lie though. I was
Of
struggling with,
genius!
my voice today, even so. Like, I can't imagine juggling as many as you do.
I apologize. I had a frog in my throat there for a little bit. Sorry. Anyways, I just wanted to say that we wouldn't have made it this far without you. Everyone here wants you to know how much we appreciate what you've done for us. We've come a long way. We're going to keep pulling together until we find a permanent place. And, this is probably going to last us quite a long time. Hopefully, we'll make it back to Phaendar someday. But for now, this place will make do. And with you on our side, things will work out. I think we all believe that. And in the meantime, I've got something that I wanted to show you. I've been waiting for you guys to come back, and I wanted to show you this. And she picks up a staff, and she holds it upright in both hands, and there's a crossbeam that has been tied to the top of this staff, and a green scarf hangs down like a banner. And two bristly pine branches are across the top. And she looks at you and she says, we decided we needed a symbol. Something to rally us. What do you think? And I can actually reveal this in the journal here if you give me a second. In the handouts, go to this, edit in all people's journals. Okay. So you should have a handout in your journal there for the Hemlock Banner.
Oh, about time.
Which journal?
The
Next to the
book one?
chat.
book one handouts Hemlock Banner, and that is the banner that she has in her hands. She's holding up to you.
Whoa. Oh man. Now I really wish I had played a Cavalier, because that you would have a standard bearer arms,
Oh,
like
Yeah.
right here.
You'd be just about at the level that you'd get one too. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be just about the level. So like level 5, you would be you could be a flag bearer, and you would have something to rally people. You actually get a +1 morale bonus. This
Yep.
is stuff you can
Yep.
do with it.
And she shows this to you. She's like, oh, "Well, what do you think?"
Certainly is green, And Orn will just shake his head and step away.
I'm the only patriot. I forgot.
It looks nice.
Nahari and Orn are both like, yeah. Again, you do you, champ. You guys are doing great. Like, super duper.
Theros will just be like, I'm not sure I understand its importance, but if it makes you all happy, I support this.
Aiden will take it if she offers it to him.
Yeah, if you reach out, she can put it in your hand, and she'll address the other three, and she's like, it's just a symbol where I thought something to rally us, as like a banner, a flag. Just like all the nations have their flags to show who they are, to bring unity to their people, I thought we could have something as well.
Auburn is right. And he'll take the banner.
Shots.
And he'll look to the party and then maybe address the rest of the crowd, and he'll say, I understand that not everyone here is Nermathi. Some of you had come to visit Phaendar for the festival, and some of you have no connection here. I understand that. I understand that our struggles are not the same. But lately, they have been. So I think what Oberyn did is wise. Because no matter where we are from, what we hope to do, we, from Phaendar, will stand together. And we will brave it all. So maybe it's just a flag. Maybe it's just some pine cones on a stick. But it is us. That's it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just the last part got me a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. Got me too.
Isn't Auburn partially blind? I just imagine her out like in the forest trying to put this thing together.
What if she thought they were flowers?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Imagine
Flowers.
She's not completely blind.
I really enjoy the sentiment. It's like when a kid draws you a picture, in its fridge art, but it's terrible.
Oh, I see. It looks like Dustin Hoffman.
You look
No,
at
it's
it and
supposed to be Aiden. Oh, yeah, I see it.
It's like, oh, right, I see it, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, it's so good.
That was great.
The,
Fantastic.
the writers of this part 100% weren't expecting people to laugh at her banner.
This is out of
Supposed to be a
character.
touching-
Metagaming.
Touching moments.
I tried to save it, but no one cared.
They only
one
had so much
cared.
at hand to work with.
Oops, that's not it.
Oh.
It's lovely.
These
So-
are our pine cones. And the Legion, they took them. I just see your message. But we
Oh,
will
God.
take back what is ours. And it starts here. With these trees. And these leaves.
So as you guys are there, and Aiden gives this inspirational speech, do the other three of you say anything to the crowd?
No.
Jace seems defeated.
Oh man, Theros isn't going to say anything, but Ulrit's gonna be like,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's loving it. He's riveting to him. He loves it.
He's clapping for you, like
Yeah.
Ulrich's just clapping there.
I can't wait to hear Ulrich's retelling of this event because to him it's probably much more epic than reality. Like I could totally see him playing it up. Like, and then 1,000 on the corpses of 1,000 hobgoblins, he rose triumphantly. Like this banner is amazing.
Okay. Nayari, did you want to say anything?
No, I think she's probably standing next to Ilika. Just they don't do this stuff where they're from, so they're just kind of hanging back, like, cool,
Okay.
cool.
They
Well,
don't have flags in Kellid lands.
I don't think they care too much about standards and banners and stuff like that.
You know, historically people do. I know y'all are making a joke of it, but standard and like it's a significant issue.
Oh,
Flag bearers are no
I'm
joke.
just playing to Theros. Like he's not.
Oh,
he
yeah,
doesn't
no,
give a
no.
Really.
No, I
Ulrich
hear
would be
you.
100% behind you. He'd love it. But
Right,
anyway, go
right,
ahead.
no.
Carry
I-
on.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
y'all are great. I was just saying.
So only Aiden is able to attempt this because the rest of you did not make any words here. So Aiden, roll your choice: diplomacy, intimidate, perform oratory, or profession soldier.
This is where I wish I had profession soldier. I want Elwood to be alive. I
And-
actually want to be Elwood.
And because of the role play, whichever one you pick, give yourself a +5 bonus.
Oh,
Ooh.
generous. Okay, so what are my choices?
Diplomacy, intimidate, probably not intimidate, perform oratory, or profession soldier.
So the only one that I can do intimidate or diplomacy, but intimidate does not make any sense.
Yeah. So
I'm just trying to think how role-playing intimidate in this situation would make sense. Like,
Oh,
don't
I-
you dare mock this
Like,
flag! This
I
is
could
a beautiful flag!
No, I can think of a reason. Like, you're not inciting, like, you're trying to make them fearful towards the enemy in a way that rallies
It's
them.
a commanding
to attack.
presence.
Right, yeah. Like, you know, we're not going to let them take
Like a
our
drill
kids.
sergeant.
Yeah, we're not going to do this again. This is where we take our stand. You will, like that kind of.
We'll fight them on the beaches! We'll
Right.
fight them in the forest!
Right,
We'll fight them in Phaendar!
Okay, you wanna know why I'm actually like trying not to cry though? I literally wrote way back when I first made Elwood, I wrote a speech for literally if this ever happened. And
Aww.
it's just you'll have to never hear it.
A ghostly apparition appears and is like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Severin sent me, and just for this moment,
I'll
to
tell you
deliver
though,
this speech."
it's pretty cool. I'll have to save it for some other day. I'm gonna take diplomacy, but I'm gonna cheese you here a little bit. Can I take what would be my 3 and intimidate and apply it to my diplomacy?
No.
Yeah, this is the way.
He's gonna do an intimidate instead of a
Well-
diplomacy. The rule of Aiden begins now.
Well, the next thing though, perform. I don't have anything in. Like I have a 0. Can I take that? Wait, no, because my charisma is low. That's why it sucks. Yeah, so I'm just gonna roll and add a 5 to this. An iron fist and a punchable face.
That's
He
our
tries
motto.
to be commanding, but everybody just giggles.
I wanted to use a hero point on it.
Oh.
Wait, you have a hero point, don't I?
I don't know. I don't
Do
track your hero points.
You were thinking about awarding some at the end of Illica. You had said online.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as this scene ends. This is the
Ah,
culmination of the scene.
Okay.
Right after this roll.
Yeah, no problem. It's fine. It's fine. It's not
Not
like-
only did you not inspire them, they are now rising up against us.
No,
Fine.
so
They kicked us out.
Fine.
6 but +5 brings
Yeah.
you to an 11.
So
So I'll just
above-
read. Yeah,
Possibly
I'll read from the
average.
book here. It says, allow each PC to attempt a DC 10 diplomacy, intimidate, perform, blah blah blah.
Oh,
Apply
okay.
any bonuses appropriate for roleplay. I have done so. Each success inspires one NPC follower, generating a promotion to the PCs.
Whoa.
So, for every 5 by which you succeed, you get another one. So
I have a
only one of you.
follower?
No, that's not what it means.
I could get him to craft my armor and carry my stuff and get
That's
PC
not
level.
what it means.
I have the
at all.
leadership feat.
No. So you only get one promotion because you just met the DC and only one of you attempted it. But basically, you can choose one of the PCs and increase their level, basically.
Oh, level them up.
Except for Aubryn, because she doesn't count.
Did you mean NPCs?
NPCs, yes.
Yeah.
NPCs.
I was like, pick me.
So,
I want
like,
to be leveled up.
Basically, what a promotion does is you can pick one of the NPCs and change their class. So if you had a commoner, you could make them a warrior, or make them an adept, or make them an expert. Or you could pick one of them and go like warrior 1 to warrior 2, or expert 2 to expert 3.
What happens if I pick someone who's currently an NPC? Will they gain a PC level?
They can't. By the standard promotion, they cannot gain PC levels, and they cannot exceed your level in their class.
So they're currently our same level, so they can't go up higher.
Well, no. Who's your level? What are you talking about?
If you put Frampton or Ulrit.
No, they are excluded just like Aubryn.
Okay. Well,
they don't have NPC levels, so they don't count as for this.
I would leave it to you, except that there is a story. It's conflicting because there is someone who I think is the best fit, but it might also
Who do you
not
think?
matter.
Yeah, I'll be changing some levels on my own. So, for instance, Ilika is going to change. Jin is going to change. So, some of the NPCs I will be changing myself.
I think Li Fang is actually the one who's the most likely, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, and you can understand why that's problematic potentially. So I'll just make it all flavor. Let's have him be the one who's called to action in any sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good story beat there.
Yeah, because he's the one who took the loss with Sir Dahudwal. He's the one who would have taken it closest to heart, I'm sure. So, because
Certainly
otherwise,
looked like it.
right, the first person that would come to his mind, obviously, that I would want would be Aubryn, but Aubryn can't level up. So then thereafter that, Aiden doesn't have a personal connection to anyone here. So I would leave it in the GM's hands to, like, whoever you want to award, like, was inspired by whatever he said. That's who it'll go to. So
Ilika.
maybe.
Honestly, maybe it was Li Fang.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the boost
That's
that
what
he needed
that's what
after
Aiden
being
was.
down.
That's what Josh was just saying.
That's what
yeah.
Josh was saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Li Fang.
Okay. So we will boost him up with the speech that Aiden has spoken here.
Level 1
And-
brawler.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll be boosting up Jin as well, so he'll be a level 1 alchemist. And Ilika will change to a level 1 shaman.
Oh my gosh, I love all of this. Oh, can we have picked up? I forgot about Veld again. I wanted to pick her up. Oh well, we can go back for her.
Yeah, so at this point, I'll say, so I'm going to give everyone a hero point. I will give, so Josh gets the hero point because of the speech he did. Andrew and Justin get the hero points because of their role play earlier with Frampton and Ulrit showing up and all of that encounter. And then Sarah gets a hero point for all of the role play with the Ilika quest and for successfully saving her.
Forget all the role play. That wouldn't have happened without what you wrote as a backstory. So that wouldn't have happened, right? If I'm not mistaken.
What wouldn't have happened without whose backstory?
Ilika, pretty much everything. We might have gone to the shrine for other reasons, but all
going to the shrine and stuff. Yeah,
all that's Ilika, and all of that is because what Sarah did. So yeah, that's awesome.
More or less. Jason rolled with it a bit, so
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
This is fine.
It's fine.
So yeah, you all gain 1 hero point.
Yay!
Yay! I'll mark it.
So I think that puts
everyone at 1. Oh wait, no.
Andrew has 2 now.
Andrew has
because he still has the one that he's saving
for Ulrit.
Yeah.
Yes.
They actually have a place where you can put points under experience.
Huh? Didn't know that.
Put hero points.
Yeah, at this point, there's going to be a little bit of a time skip. You guys are going to have a couple days here in the cave that you can do as you wish. You can continue to have Li Fang work on that fence if you want, maybe help him out, whatever you want to do. You could clean up the forge. It's going to take a couple days, or if you have a couple people, it might take only 1 or 2 days to get the forge back up and running and in good condition so you can actually start using it. And there's a couple other loose ends that you've said you wanted to do, and you can point out which ones you want to do, and I can say which ones you'd have the time to do if you so desire to do them.
There are two that are important to me. I want to go and I'll roll whatever you want me to roll, or we can role play it out, or we can do whatever you want. I want to get Veld to leave her little thing and come here where I think it's safer, where Aiden thinks it's safer. If that's at all possible, or she's at all able to be convinced. That's what he wants to try to do, at least.
Okay, so one of the things you want to do is check on Veld again and see what can be done with her. Okay.
Yep.
And then the other thing?
Gashma's gotta die.
Okay, so you want to try to find Gashma.
Yeah, that's my 2 things.
Okay. Does anybody else have any specific things that they want to do?
Just curious, and we can RP this later, but why do we want to kill Gashma now?
I want to, just because. He said he would way back when.
Wouldn't he be out harassing the hobgoblins right now?
Yeah, you could say that, and then maybe he wouldn't, but he could still bother them.
Yeah, we'll deal with that when we cross that road.
Yeah, we'll deal with that when we get there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think during this time, Nayari will be conspiring with Ilika. Now that she kind of has someone from her homeland with her, she is going to. She's very limited in what she can do, but they would probably work together to try to come up with some semblance of a meal that's inspired from their homeland. They don't really have all of the supplies that they would need, but they'll probably try to use what little spices they can collect, or meats that they have, and any other things. And they would, one night for the group, they would try to put together a Kellid inspired meal.
Yeah, roll craft cooking.
You could, so yeah, if you were working with Jet at all, she could take directions and do that.
We probably
Jet
would.
is a very, very phenomenal cook.
Yeah, we would bring her into the loop and say, this is what we used to eat. This is just for something different aside from the, every day we're just going to eat a haunch of lamb or whatever. But
And she's all for it. She's like, oh, that is a fantastic idea. I'd love to try it. I've never tried making Kellid food before, but I am more than willing to try my hand at it. And yeah.
Does she actually have ranks in either profession, chef, or craft cooking?
I would have to check on her character sheet to see what those were. I can't remember if I did that or not. I think she's an aristocrat, so technically no, but
technically no. But you can make profession. Technically.
Yeah.
Theros is outside with Volus while they're all in there doing that thing. He's just chilling outside, thinking with his own thoughts. I can't talk. He's just outside, thinking.
Yep.
Or I'll ask Kining to help repair the forge.
Yep.
And maybe mend his broken heart.
She's actually been working on it
so much.
She's been working on it while you guys were gone, so she's made a little bit of progress herself. But yeah, you could go down and assist her, maybe get one of the other refugees to help you out, just to have somebody on hand, and 3 or 4 people. You could get it up and running in 3 days pretty easily. And sometime during that period of time, Jin would obviously have found out that Arya is alive and very wounded. She does not come to consciousness during these few days, At least not in a way that she can really go around and do stuff. She was extremely injured, kind of similar to how Oberyn was at the start. A very, very debilitating injury, and like I said, some of her wounds just aren't going to heal all the way. Like, she's missing an ear and a couple fingers, and there's not much you're going to be doing to get that back into the way it was before. But she's also diseased just like the others, so she's probably the worst off out of everyone. So she doesn't really come into a coherent state of mind, but Jin kind of stays by her side that whole time. Just you can probably see him if you're watching. He'll be maybe writing in a journal every now and then, just as he sits by her, just waiting for time to pass, not really comfortable going off and doing something else while he knows she's here suffering.
I think at some point, if Theros is by himself, Nyari would approach him. I don't know. It would be away from other people, maybe when he's outside. I don't know.
He's basically
Gathering food.
out here, just sitting up in a tree, just not talking to anybody else, just vibing.
He's got his
Brooding.
lo-fi tunes playing.
Right, I guess
He's to
vibing
study
is
and
too
relax
positive.
too.
He's
Yeah.
brooding out there.
Yeah. Breathing is probably better.
So she would find him at some point, and she would probably sit down at the base of the tree if he's up in a tree, and she would say, Theros, I don't expect you to explain to any of us the feelings that you have for your mother, but I just wanted to let you know that a small part of me understands, perhaps, what you might be going through. My mother is gone. She died several years ago from an illness. She was sick for quite some time, and in the end, she could not fight it off, and she passed away. She was one of several concubines of my father, who was the chief of our tribe. And my father had no love for me, especially since I was a half-breed. I wasn't considered worthy to be counted one of his children. So, while there may not exist bad blood between us necessarily, I truly only had one parent in my life. And I'm not saying that you need to make amends with her. I'm not saying that at all. I, of all people, know how to hold a grudge. But I just wanted to let you know that if you ever need someone to talk to about this, I'm always here, and I won't judge you no matter what your feelings are.
Theros will remain quiet for a moment and just taking in what she said, and he'll respond and he'll say, "You'll forgive me if I don't really know how to talk about this. I'm not, as I've stated before, I've not spent much time around other people. And that is in due part to her doing." He starts to get irritated, so he just remains quiet again and says, "I'm sorry, please don't take it personally." And he'll just kind of remain there, brooding still. But just, he did make eye contact with Nyari just to acknowledge that he appreciates her concern, but he's staying there for now.
Well, if nothing else, you can just treat her as one of the group, and hopefully she will get to the point where she is well enough to move up and around, and
leave again.
perhaps. But honestly, I can't fault her if she wants to leave. There's part of me that wants to leave as well. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
Why would she stay now? She has nothing here.
Where's she going to go?
Oh, I've wondered that my entire life. But apparently spilling blood is more important to her than her own family.
That kind of hits Nyari hard a little bit. Because where she's from, there's a big emphasis on family in the group, but they're also, you know, barbarian people, and spilling blood and fighting is in their nature. So she kind of feels maybe a twinge of guilt at that, just because there are times when she takes pleasure in the fight and in spilling blood. Well, whatever happens, know that you got a friend in me.
Wow. After all that, that's how you end it. Like, all of that
love
was
it.
perfect, and then it's, well, just remember, you've got a friend in me.
I gotta say,
Each one of these scenes
You're
has been
closing.
ruined.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
telling you.
like earlier in her RP with the 2 guards, she's like, well, keep it going.
That's our MO.
Our ability to roleplay. We have literally ended like
Highly heroic.
3 serious scenes with a joke.
This is a problem I have, though. Like, this is why I hate talking on the phone, because I don't know how to end the conversation in a good way. So it's usually really awkward where it's like, all right.
And I think that's okay. You just let the awkward hold, because
Yep.
Well,
that's
no,
like kind
here's
of
the
a
thing, though. If that was a real life situation, let's say you were telling that to somebody, it's like, hey, you got a friend in me. You could both laugh at it, right? And then you would it would be a heartwarming moment. The problem is that in world, these characters don't get the joke.
I
So-
tried.
They don't get the joke.
so
I tried. Like,
It
I
adds a layer.
was trying to come up with something different to say, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Metagame-
That's the only thing there.
metagaming.
make it
I got a
worse-
good laugh. Theros
Yeah.
felt a little twinge of warmth in his heart from you saying
It
that.
was sincere. She said it
Beautiful
sincerely.
sentiment.
Yes.
Even if I couldn't deliver it sincerely, it was sincere.
It's a beautiful sentiment ruined by pop culture and memes.
All right. Well, we can continue on to whoever else is, if anybody else is doing something. That works for me.
Yeah, I think the only other
Or-
scene.
Orin and
Would-
Kaini.
I mean, we could play that one out. I didn't know if you guys wanted to play that one out, because that was mostly just getting the thing.
It's not
repaired.
going to be what you guys think it's going to be.
No, but did you have something you wanted to do? I don't know what Orin's feelings are.
If you wanted to role play that scene out, it would be a lot of silence.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think they've come to a place where they can accept each other's presence, but they don't like each other.
Their
Right,
They
no
would
relationship
never
is-
like each other.
They're so close, they don't even need words to communicate.
Yeah, all right, you got a friend in me. Why don't you calm down?
Yeah, they.
Ooh,
the
we're gonna
reason
be able to
they-
lord that one over you for a little while.
You can just call me Randy Newman.
Yeah, they
the
have
only-
4 people working on the forge. One of them is to actually help. The 4th person is just to carry things between the 2 of them, since they won't go near each other.
Some of the folks may be a little bit shorter than I am.
Yes.
Ulrich's there just like doe-eyed going like... Two?
I would like to talk to Aubryn again, in private. But I think that I can be last if anyone else wants to do something.
Yeah, because I was just going to say the only other things to do were scenes if you went to Veld or whatnot.
I will go to Veld. If you want a role play scene,
Just a short
fair.
one,
sure, we'll do a short one.
because there might
so
be checks
excited.
involved.
He wants to do the voice so bad.
No, but
Well,
there might be checks involved. So
Yeah, I know. And I hate Veld. Like, Josh Allen hates Veld. So.
I love Veld. She's my backup character.
Are we
20th level witch.
are we going?
Am I going by myself, or is anyone going with me to this scene?
I think it's common knowledge that nobody
go with
is
you.
leaving. Yeah, we're all going together.
Okay.
But no, we have to pry Orin away from that forge.
I was
Kicking
gonna
and
say,
screaming.
Okay.
So
My love.
I don't think we have to take Orin with us.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. We could take Frampton or Ulritz if he's so keen.
They're
on
both
it.
pretty
They
sickly.
are nearly dead.
It might not be a day or so later. You never know.
Or no, go. It's fine.
Okay. No. Nyari would take Ilika to be like, "Hey, Veld, look what we did. Thanks."
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
So
I'll
she's taking
roleplay
Ilika.
Ilika.
You guys
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go for
please
it.
do. Please do.
Yeah, you guys can go over to Veld's, and
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna start describing the scene there. If there's something else you want to do.
No,
Okay.
go for it.
So you guys make it over to Veld's shack, and you notice a couple things that are interesting. One is that when you get there, it is half collapsed, as it has been burned. And when you get there, you see that there are half a dozen hobgoblins, like, put up on stakes. They're dead and hung up.
Shoot.
Holy crap!
She's my backup character. She's totally my backup character.
And
Veld.
I
You
claim
see-
ownership. She says.
Yes.
you see that she is there, alive. She's kind of sitting in a chair by the garden. Looks like it might have been the only piece of furniture that survived the shack. And she's there, and she turns when you guys come near, and she looks at you, and she says, "Oh, you're back. I see your friend's doing okay now. That's good."
Yes, Veld, it's all thanks to you. This would never have been possible if you had not helped us. So I
probably true.
wanted to come and give my thanks to you in person again.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Do you need more stuff?
Not really.
Okay. Do you have any?
Don't got a place to store it anymore, so I don't know what that would really do. And she's currently drinking some coffee.
I was gonna say, we came to thank you. That is true, but it is also kind of related to your situation. We have found a very safe place in the Fangwood to stay. I would feel better if you were with us because. And then he kind of looks at the hobgoblins. Well, I was worried that you might not be okay on your own, but did you do this?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a story. So, it wasn't too long after you guys left. A handful of hobgoblins came and they were trying to steal some of my stuff, so I chased them off, which wasn't all that hard. There weren't too many of them. But I guess they came back, and while I was out gathering herbs, they burned down my shack and destroyed my garden, and they killed my fox. So when I came back that day, I wasn't in a good mood. And as you can see, this is the result. And she kind of points in the direction of all the dead hobgoblins that have been hoisted on pikes.
I am sorry to hear about your loss. And he's being very careful to keep his voice like quiet, like really, really like barely above a whisper, but still conversational kind of thing. It's just hard to do over digital. But yeah, he's trying to keep his voice low because he knows she doesn't like sharp noises. I know that you prefer to be alone. There may be a place. We have some caves. And if you wanted to remain alone,
that could be arranged, but you would be safer with us, I think.
And she was kind of sitting on her stool, her three-legged stool, kind of looking over her destroyed garden, sipping some of the tea that you guys left her. And as soon as you say that, she kind of like slowly repositions herself, turns to look straight at you, Aiden, and she says, "Really? After what I did last time, you're actually going to offer me that? I'm surprised. I didn't expect you to even want to come back in the first place."
Veld, it is true. I do not like what you did to me. But I do not think that you are a bad person. I have not much room to be angry at other people. All my hate, it's at them. That's all I have the time for. So, I would welcome you back.
Roll a diplomacy
You know, I'm really good at those.
with a +2 bonus.
Sure.
Maybe make it a little better than the speech in the cave.
If
Slightly
anybody
better.
else, because I didn't really give time for, if anybody else wanted to pipe in and like add to it, you can do so and try to aid, but it's up to you guys if you guys want to say something to Veld or not.
Nairi, what she would say, Veld, you have done so much for me and for my friend, and I really think that the best thing for you would be to get you somewhere safe. It's the least that we can do, is to escort you back somewhere where you can find a small corner in this cave and keep to yourself, but at least you wouldn't have to worry about hobgoblins coming and burning down your house.
And I know this might sound funny to say, but I know that gardening and crafting and alchemy is important to you. We know someone who trades with the Darklands. She can get all kinds of crazy materials that maybe you would want. So it's not just for your own sake. Maybe you would like it.
And yeah, I'll roll my diplomacy.
Yeah, so you guys can choose who you want to have to do the roll and who can aid, or you can do separately if you want. Just let me know how you want to do it.
I'm
I'm gonna roll on my own.
Okay.
I would roll to aid, except that I don't think that's the way the scene plays out.
Okay.
You know, they're both
Yeah.
asking for different reasons.
Yeah, so you can both roll, and so Nayari,
Mattered.
with your role play, Nayari, I'd give you a +2, and Aiden, since you mentioned Navi, I'll give you a +5 rather than a
Yeah.
+2, because
Yeah.
that's a pretty...
Yeah, thank you.
Look at
That's
that
a
smug
pretty
look
good
on your
point to
face,
make.
Josh.
Yeah.
She's interested in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it.
Yeah,
This time,
the-
Josh is going in the hut with her.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? What's happening?
Oh, I
What are
meant
you-
like before Nayari.
What implication are you making?
Phrasing.
Just sometimes the things in my head don't translate well when they come out of my mouth, so just forget that
What
ever
is with
happened.
you and like shipping people? Like kind of
I was
orphan.
not shipping
world's-
anyone.
The world's first analyst therapist.
It was.
You guys have a problem with age gaps?
This was not
Hey,
what I had.
have no issue with age
planned.
gaps within a certain number of decades.
I was going the route of like, now Aiden might get some visions from Veld because he rolled higher diplomacy, so he went into the cabin like Nayari did. But then you guys were like, oh
Yeah, so,
no. 70s and 30.
What?
I pull up her picture again, and the look on her face fits Jason's voice so well. It just really makes me happy.
Can we get another look at that picture?
it's in your journal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull it up here.
Oh, it's so
for
great.
NPCs Veld.
Iden's gonna carry a
Yes.
little locket of her from now on.
Oh
Good
man, I
goodness.
literally want like a printout of Veld, and I want to make a medallion, and I want to wear it like every single day.
But yeah, so you mentioned Navi and how she is a trader with the Darklands and all that, and as soon as you say that, like both eyebrows for Vel to go up, and she says, "Well, that's actually, yeah, that's actually really interesting. I might take you up on that offer now, actually." And with your roll of 16 plus the 5 from mentioning Navi, I would say that that's enough to increase her from indifferent to the next step up.
Friendly?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you made a friend, Aiden.
I can't
yeah,
believe it.
She'll agree to come back to the caves on the condition that you can find a place that she can be away from most other people and all of that.
Oh man, I feel so proud of myself though, because I had that prepped for a hot minute. Like I was planning on doing that. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And I'll just say we will kind of gloss over most of the Gashma stuff, but did you want to look for him as well?
Yeah, I want to kill him.
Okay, are you going in a group for that, or is just Aiden going for that one?
I don't know if this is reality, but I think at this point, even mechanically, I could probably kill it myself if I get the jump on it. So
Yep.
I think that that's the case. So if you're willing to hand wave it, I'll just roll a survival, a stealth, and 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, don't roll any attacks. Just roll survival
I have
for tracking.
Yeah, I've got my favorite terrain here.
Yep.
Let's see here. There's nothing else that I need to worry about. And I can attempt each day too, and I also get half my level to track, so however long you want.
Yeah. So over time, it takes you a while, but so most of the tracks on the ground would have been washed away by storms and whatnot, but you are aware of the indicative circular scratchings on trees that Gashma is notorious for doing with his tusks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're actually able to discern how some of those are more recent than others and whatnot. And it takes you some time. It probably isn't going to be like a one-day thing, but over this time period, you are able to start to get a trail. And eventually you get to the end of that trail and you see what appears to be the remnants of a battle. You see a dead hobgoblin, for one, and you see a lot of broken tree branches. There was a lot of combatants that probably took place in this battle. There's blood in a lot of areas. The only remaining sign you see is a dead hobgoblin, though. You don't see Gashma, but you do see probably the faint trace of something being dragged away further into the forest. But at that point, the tracks start to get washed out a little bit. Once you leave the battlefield, the tracks start to get washed out by the rain and whatnot that has occurred in these past few days.
Mm-hmm.
But you are able to probably pretty quickly discern that Gashma probably ran afoul of a hobgoblin patrol, and chances are didn't kill them all, but it definitely looks like it took out one of them. But you get the idea. Gashma might be dead.
Oh, he might be dead already.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood on the area, so either that blood was from the wounded hobgoblins or the blood is from Gashma, but the drag marks indicate that Gashma didn't walk away. So they could have tied him up, could be dead, whichever one you discern to be more likely.
Right, but there's no feast for us in that regard.
You don't think so?
All right,
and
then.
In that same time period, I'll say you don't see any track of the black feline.
I was going to say you want to add 2 to that because that's what my favorite.
Yeah, you don't find any trace of it, at least not in the areas that you would have been looking for Gashma in.
And last he saw it, it was so far away actually from anything that was going on.
Yeah, last you saw it was actually moving south of the caves, which is a totally different direction than what Gashma was.
Yeah, not even close to us. So he's not going to worry about that, and he'll make peace with that. He's not the ones who have done it, but what's dead is dead, and if not, it seems to have bothered them. So he'll take that as what he needs.
Okay. And with that, I think that's all of the loose ends pretty much tied up.
Yeah, just the goblin thing and the other place, but those don't matter.
About
Yep.
Oberyn and
Yep. Well, I think that's gonna be
Yeah, if you have a scene you want to do with her, you can go ahead and do that. I have
It's-
just one last thing before we end the session. So if you have a scene,
It's not a lot, and basically, I'll tell you the objective. Like, he's gonna say, like, "What do we do now?" Basically, will be the gist of what he talks about. So if you just want to into that,
Okay.
that's fine.
yeah. So you go to talk with Aubryn, and you're kind of asking what to do and whatnot. But as you're actually making your way, we'll say a couple days have passed. You've come back from your from your scouting mission.
I
So a
think
couple days have passed at this point.
I think a part of it too is good for Aiden. He probably wanted a little bit of time on his own.
Yep.
He spent 9, 10 days, 11 days with these people now, and as nice as you can get to know people, it's also good to get some distance.
Yeah. So you're actually making your way back, and you're in the cave, and you maybe take an hour or two to set your stuff aside and get ready, and then you're about to head over to Aubryn when you all hear a scream coming from the entrance, the mushrooms. And that scream is quickly cut short. And then you hear in the goblin tongue a voice ring out in the caves. And we can just assume that Orin is there so that I can tell you what the goblin person is speaking, because otherwise nobody would know what it says. Orin, you hear this voice yell out and say, "Oi, you lizards! I've got something to tell ya. It's been 2 weeks since we last sent a message. It's about time you give us a reply." And we will end the session there.
Oh yay!
Talk
we
about awkward.
Yeah, I know, right?
Under new management.
I was gonna say, so
Hmm.
LaRosa and Tydell, there were no guards posted out front.
Not at that moment, no.
Wow, wow, wow.
This was probably in a time of day when maybe they had come in for lunch or something. Like, they don't have somebody posted there at all times because it's pretty well hidden. So you're not going to just like stumble across the caves unless you're looking for it. Plus, you have Clealash in that first chamber. So I
That's
would
fine.
say,
But I did buy something for that. That's why I bought the camouflage hunting stands, because I was having the idea that somebody could be perched up somewhere near the outside to see something approaching. But that's fine. We
Yeah.
could just say they weren't there today.
with Clealash there, most people, for one, most of the commoners don't go into that room because they still are kind of unsure of that crystal creature.
Right.
But LaRosa and Tydell, they don't go there at all times because that's a pretty good guard as far as they're concerned.
I'm reasonable with that.
So, asking for a friend
Yes.
at this point, we
Yes.
would be full HP, right?
Oh yeah, it's been a couple
Okay.
days. We can.
That's what I
Asking for a friend. I like that.
Asking for myself, we also get to level up now, right?
No.
I really want that. fifth
Even I
level.
wasn't gonna stretch that far.
I want
No.
that 5th level really bad, because, like,
Unfortunately, it's never gonna happen.
Well, 5th level in book 1 seems like a bit of a stretch. I think in Rune Lords, you guys were 3rd level when you hit the final boss, weren't you?
to
Yeah,
be fair, you loaded us, you leveled us up super slow, probably. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I feel like
No.
Orin killing all those undead by himself with very little help clearly would level up to level 5, where he gets access to cool stuff. You know, since everyone else got access to cool stuff last level and he did not. He learned a new language.
Unfortunately,
That's about it.
unfortunately, I do milestone leveling, not experience points. So
Fair enough.
To be fair, though, by XP, would we be on pace or, like, destroying the game for how much stuff we've done?
you'd probably be about on pace.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
On
We
that note, I want to end the stream for everybody, so let's give a quick thank you to everybody who listened.
Oh.
Thank you, Sammy,
Yay!
for joining. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
to my friend
Sammy.
Pat and Joe for following. And if you aren't yet, you should definitely, if anybody's still here, you should definitely follow the Mildly Heroic channel we just started. Thank you to
Yeah.
Garmic for following. We appreciate any and all of you guys for joining us. It's always fun. Jason?
And
I
thanks
hope
to
you enjoyed
Julian.
it as much as we did. Oh, special thanks to Julian from Pop's Culture Shop in Willsboro. Buy all of your Christmas presents there.
Thank you.
Shameless promotion.
Thank you, Jason, for your GMing as always.
Agreed. What he said.